That's cool. I'm good with that. Tried. I've gotten it wrong like 8 times. So, you know what I mean.
She got a smile and it seems to me reminds me of childhood memory where everything was as fresh as a bright blue sky. Now and then when I see her face, she takes me away to that special place. Well, if I stare too long, I'd probably break down and cry.
Like 5 minutes of jokes, and then I'll just give you a great intro.
Okay, hopefully. But I'm not going to be viewed on the 5 minutes, right? It's just you.
Sweet child of mine.
Welcome to the virtual Stab Comedy Theater. It's time for the Suzette Veneti Show. Please welcome to your screen, Suzette Veneti.
Hi everybody, it's the Suzette Veneti Show. It's 5:04, so we're a minute late, but sometimes late's okay, and you get another life out of it. Anyway, hi, I'm Suzette Veneti, and it's April 25th, and that means if you have May Day plans, you're white, because I don't know what May Day is, and it's coming up, I think. I don't know when it is. Sorry. Anyhow, hi. Great show today. It's just going to be me and my interview guest, but that's cool because she's amazing, and we'll try to pick up where Chelsea and Clifton would have left off. So here we go. This is just a bit of news. 42,000 people in Stanislaus and Merced counties will be getting bottled water. Because their wells are tainted with nitrate. So no joke, but if you live there, get your Fuji water, boo. Locally, a gas thief has targeted trucks at a Fair Oak sushi restaurant, Makuni's. The thief is drilling holes into gas lines and letting the gas flow out of the hole before collecting it in a tub. This is crazy because most people go to a sushi restaurant because it doesn't give them gas. That was a dad joke. Murderer Derek Chauvin was found guilty in all 3 counts of killing George Floyd, which is good. Because of the intention nature of the trial and the judge allowing it to be streamed live due to COVID, I believe that this trial easily became the most famous murder trial in American history, surpassing the O.J. Simpson trial. O.J., never liking to be taken out of the spotlight, has already signed a book deal with publisher to write the book, The Derek Chauvin Murders, If I Did Them. Demi Lovato was in some heat when she criticized an LA Froyo shop for being diet culture vultures, hashtag diet culture vultures, by carrying sugar-free diet cookies. She actually received some backlash from her fans who asked her to cool out for the summer. Little Journey Hoffmeyer, a 7-year-old biracial student at Gaynard Elementary, 150 miles outside of Detroit, had her hair cut last week on 2 separate occasions, once by a fellow student and the second time by a school librarian. Both amateur hairstylists were white, while Journey has 1 black parent and 1 white parent. The student stylist was explained to be just a silly child who thought she was having fun on a school bus, but the librarian, however, is an adult and knows better. The superintendent said that she couldn't do anything to chastise the librarian or punish her, but the school board president said that he knew what to do. He ordered all the mayo taken out of the teacher's lounge at Gaynard Elementary. And the librarian, again, a white woman, says that while this punishment doesn't seem to fit the crime, she now understands that taking her food seasoning away has taught her a lesson. A boba shortage in Sacramento is crippling the local boba tea houses. Owners of the boba tea houses are saddened to find that without boba, their customers aren't coming in anymore. T18 owner Sakuthi Hay was quoted as saying, "When we tell them we don't have boba, they just walk away." While every single boba tea house offers more than just drinks, than just boba, the owners are finding out what the customers knew all along. Nobody goes to boba tea houses for anything other than boba tea. Duh. At least 53 passengers on an Indian airline flight from Delhi to Hong Kong this month reportedly tested positive for COVID-19, after everyone aboard had tested negative within 72 hours prior to departure. Spirit Airlines was quoted as saying, "That's weird. We didn't know we had flights in India." A white school bus driver in Louisiana made a racist remark to a black student that referenced the murder of George Floyd. The driver scolded the 11-year-old child, Richard Gabriel, after his face mask slipped below his nose, and he ran to catch the school bus on April 9th. Gabriel told the driver that he was out of breath running to catch the bus, to which the driver responded, "Since George Floyd, that's all you say, but I don't see a knee on your neck." The driver, a crotchety old white man, is no longer employed by the district, and the district superintendent is not saying whether the driver was fired or he quit. But, I'm supposed to believe that this racist asshole just made a racist comment and then just quit on his own? Okay. Sure. Caitlyn Jenner is running for governor because she wants to make sure that everyone knows that Gavin Newsom is not the least likable candidate. Thank you. Electric scooters are ending up in the Sacramento River. One of the companies that owns and maintains scooters, Spin, is baffled. Every time a new rider downloads the Spin app, they're given information on ride safety and how to correctly park the scooter when they finish the ride, the spokesperson for Spin stated. Frankly, it's refreshing to know that some idiots out there still have faith in humanity. Because, I don't know, there was this whole, we're still in it, pandemic thing where people couldn't even wash their fucking hands. So I don't expect people to read a manual on how to park an electric scooter. Audiences flocked to theaters to see Mortal Kombat recently. Warner Brothers made the now interesting decision to keep the movie in theaters solely, whereas other studios like Disney are giving audiences a choice between seeing the movie at the theater or seeing it stream at home for an extra fee. Audiences fighting over each other to see a movie in a crowded theater during a pandemic. Definitely sounds like Mortal Kombat. I kid, because if Black Widow was in a theater, I'd go right now. Like, I don't even care. I would go looking like a hoe. I just go see Black Widow. But the producers for Final Destination are taking note, and they've confirmed that they're working on a new title, Final Destination, Cineplex, during the fourth spike. That's it. That's all the monologue for me. We're going to get to my interview guest. She is amazing. I am so excited to have her here in studio with me, and I got to perform with her at Makeup and Mimosa's Drag Brunch today, which was just the best watching her perform, and the crowd loved it, and we're all attributing it, the crowd having a good time, to her being here. So please, peers and queers, join me in welcoming the fantastic, the beautiful, the talented DeJa Skye.
Oh my God, keep going.
Yeah?
Yeah. The talented,
okay.
the beautiful,
Beautiful,
the
talented, funny, constipated.
Hey.
Yeah. Do you have AAA?
No.
Oh,
I do have AARP.
okay. Okay. The crotchety, the
Yes.
creaky. Do you need oil?
No, honestly, but you can just continue to do synonyms for beautiful, like.
Okay. Beautiful, gorgeous, cute. That's kind of a downgrade.
That's kind of a, yeah.
I know.
I'm not
Stunning.
I'm not 10.
I think you're stunning.
God, oh my God, with this lighting, probably not, but thank you.
Jesse, do you know any synonyms for beautiful I'm missing?
DeJa. That's the synonym.
DeJa. Yeah, that's it. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me
You're
here.
very
Oh my gosh.
DeJa-ish. DeJa.
Hey, DeJa-esque.
DeJa-esque. Okay. Okay.
Oh.
DeJa-esque. Yeah.
Wait, am I supposed to be looking here or you?
Either way,
That's just weird if I'm talking. Yeah, no, I'm
Yeah.
gonna look over here.
it looks like we're looking at each other on
Yeah.
the feed. If you look at me.
Okay, cute.
Yeah. If we both look, like sometimes when I say something like I don't know, I'm a real natural woman.
And then look to the camera.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay. Because I was like, that's gonna be so weird. Like, yeah, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can look that way if you want. That'd be weird though.
Yeah. Hey, how are you over there, mannequin head? Hi.
Right. How are you?
Okay, I have been great. I have not been in Sacramento in 2 years, so
Okay.
I've not performed for 2 years. And Sacramento to me was like, oh, I should talk a little deeper. Sacramento to me was like literally a second home. Like it was my first, not my first out of town gig, but it was my first gig that I started networking. I started like just becoming friends with all the girls here, and it was a shame it took 2 years, obviously COVID, but then the year before that, all that kind of stuff. But
Things happen.
I am happy to be back, and hopefully for more than just today.
Yeah, I hope so too. I am excited because when you were here 2 years ago, like I was not performing at any level where I would get a chance to perform with you. But today I got to, and it was such a treat.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. So one thing Suzette told me, she was like, you watch my video, because I was telling her about like, oh, you do great Britney, like you must do Britney a lot. And she's like, not really. And I was like, well, the videos I've seen you do Britney. And she was like, 20 minutes later, she said, wait, you like watch my videos? And I was like, well, yeah, because obviously, shout out to you, Rebecca. She posts the videos, and I'm like, yeah, I don't watch like every single person's like from the beginning to end, but I was like, I keep tabs of certain things. You're like, I didn't think anybody watched.
Okay, so like I'm really honest and transparent about like my journey through comedy and drag on this show, and like I have tried to be as good as I can, but when you're starting, and I still think like I'm 4 years in on drag, right? And I still am like, that's new, like, and I can't believe when people are like, I'm a year in, I want a show, like I want my own like this and that, and it's like
that's that new mentality.
It's
honestly
crazy.
I've been doing this for 10 years straight up, and it still feels like I am like newer, like and it's crazy the sense of entitlement with these young queens or performers. Let's just- performers. It's that very much like, I need a booking fee and I need a this and I need a that, and I'm like, but where did this come from? Because when I first came on the scene, I don't think I got paid for a gig for at least a year.
That's what I was gonna say.
At least
what
a
was your
year.
first like paid gig? It
My
was a
first
year.
paid gig was a year in, yes, and it was at. I mean, luckily it transitioned to me being part of the show, but I was doing free gigs, and honestly, I was hungry, and I feel like a lot of these newer performers that come on the scene, I don't see the hunger. I see more or less like, well, you should just be booking me because I'm, you know, everything is aesthetic. I have a brand and I have a styled wig and a bottom lash, and that's not it, because honestly, pretty gets old. You have to have some sort of like substance. And I feel like a lot of these newer, not everyone, please do not, it's just a generalization.
Right.
I just feel like a lot of newer performers just come with this sense of entitlement. And it was never like that.
Well, let me open that up. So first of all, you saying pretty gets old is actually like a really interesting thing, because you are so pretty, but you have substance to back it up.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
So there were a couple tables of comedians at brunch today that I do comedy with, and they were like, DeJa from Fresno, and I was like, what? And they were like, she's so funny, bro. Like, there were parts of the song that I didn't remember, like I didn't even know those parts were in the song until she performed them and emoted to them.
Yeah.
So that's like, pretty gets old. It's good to be pretty.
No, absolutely. I mean, I think I can't remember who said it, but they kind of said, I think it was Davina DeCampo from UK Season 1. She said the thing about old school was like what you do. So you have to perform or be comedic. You have to have something to back up, you know, what it is. And the new way of drag is aesthetics. The new way of drag is coming out gorgeous, being able to take filtered gorgeous pictures on social media, because that's how you get noticed. That's how you get your name out there. Because before it was show up to different bars, talk to the staff, get your kind of name out there. Now you can literally post a gorgeous picture, be a skinny white twink with zero substance, and get all the praise. All the praise. You literally, all you have to have is just a pretty face nowadays to get anywhere, honestly.
It is crazy that people, and that happens in comedy too. That's why I want to say I wanted to
open it
up. Oh my God, yes. And Jesse, if you want, you can opine. You probably don't want to, but with comedy, like, people will do it for like 6 months, and they're like, I want to headline a show, and it's like, you don't have 5 minutes.
Sure,
like,
right.
What are you gonna do?
Right.
And they think they have 5 minutes, and like, I think I've been doing comedy for a little bit, like 4 years, 5 years, and maybe 15 minutes, right? But like, I'm not a headliner.
Right.
I shouldn't be headlining.
Totally.
Like, you not only do you have to network and like earn your way and like, but you have to just do it consistently for a long period of time.
Yeah. And it's just one of those things. And like, I will say too, a lot of hosts or a lot of booking, not agents, but like people that book the show, they tend to kind of stick to just their friends, and that's great and that's dandy. However, you're kind of not giving anyone else a chance, because there are, again, I was just a generalization. It was no one specific in mind, but there are queens that come, or performers that come on the scene, and they are thirsty and they are hungry, because it's kind of a double-edged sword. When you have been doing it for so many years, you tend to get lazy, you tend to get complacent, you tend to kind of stick to what you know, and you don't really progress. And again, no specifications. I'm not talking to one specific person, but it's just one of those things where when you get older, the fire is dim. When you're younger, the fire is lit. But with this new generation, I just feel like there's no fire at all. It's almost just a lukewarm kind of response. Like, why are you not gagging? Why are you not tipping me? Why are you not this? Why are you not that? And I'm
make
just
them
like,
gag.
Do something to make them gag.
Yeah.
Like I said, pretty does get old. Like, everyone's pretty in their own freaking way.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? So why, like, okay, put that out of the equation, but what else do you have to offer?
Right.
Taking pictures is not a talent. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely.
Putting filters and Facetune, that can take a talent to make it look real.
Yeah, but then
that's
you gotta
like
show up at the gig.
Absolutely. And people can get disappointed. People can absolutely be like, oh, that's not what your skin looks like, or that's not what this looks like. you know?
Right, that cute
So,
little snatched nose,
yeah,
like, isn't
like-
so cute.
Like even look at Drag Race and like a lot of queens that come up from social media. It's rare that you find one of those queens that are successful, and it's because they just rely on that. There's no substance. What I miss the creativity. I miss the people that would sew their own garments. I miss the people that would network. The people that would really get out there and kind of just show who they are. Because to me, you can't fake authenticity. You can't, and I see it now. Now, unless you have a character, totally different. If like a Ben de la Creme, like they put on that character, I get that, but I feel like even on stage you can see someone's soul, and you can see someone like, are they doing it for the gig, or are they doing it because they really enjoy it? And I am first and foremost a fan of drag, so I am first and foremost like, I will be at a drag show and yes, bitch, work. Like I will be that person. So I just feel like just authenticity, like just the new generation, I just don't see it. I don't know what it is. And like, I'm not downplaying anybody's drag. Your drag is your drag, but substance is lost in translation sometimes with the newer generation.
It's like you said that you have to have a hunger, and it's almost like the new generation of performers. Again, we don't even have to limit it to drag.
Right.
Just performers in general
Mhm.
is just kind of like, instead of being hungry, they're like, I've cooked. Would
Sure.
you like some?
Oh, totally.
And it's like,
I cooked sushi one time.
yeah,
You know?
like, I don't
Yeah.
think I want what you cooked.
Sure.
Why would I want it?
And it's off-putting as someone that has booked queens and someone that like I've had shows all up and down California, everywhere, and it is off-putting. Like you want to. I'm not saying a first impression is the most important thing, because I will give people 2, 3, 4 chance. I understand that, but it's making a lasting impression. You know, I think I was talking to Helen. I said with the whole shows, and this goes for crowd, people in the crowd. We're totally like I would rather not be tipped a goddamn dollar and the crowd go up for you, because I feel like that's more memorable.
Yes.
Anybody can just do this, you know, you're eating, you're drunk, you're like, anybody can do that. But going up and kind of just like Taryn today, bringing back a song that like people can just like, oh, I love this. It's that's impactful, and that you become the favorite, and you become, oh my God, I got to follow them on Instagram, or I got to do that. And,
Right.
and I feel like that's what's missing with the new generation, because they will literally stand there and be gorgeous and flawless. Get in a museum.
Right.
Stand in a museum. Do that. You know, stick to social media.
For me, it's very much because I also book shows.
Yeah.
And for me, it's like, have a distinct personality, and you kind of touched on that.
Yeah.
But it's like I want to know. Actually, you did touch on that a lot. Just you didn't say the word. But like, I want to know who you are. Like, I want to know why. Because if you're just a pretty statue, there are 30 of them.
Sure. Totally.
You know, within like I can dump this water out and hit 30 pretty statues.
Absolutely.
So like, be someone like, and that's, I don't know, we talk about brunch a lot on the show because do you know Clifton? He's always at Badlands.
I'm really bad with names.
Okay,
but
you know
I'm
his face.
sure. Yes.
Yeah. So Clifton comes on and we talk about brunch, and then Chelsea, my comedian friend, she'll come on, and she always first, because she's very caring about me. We'll say that. Yeah. So she's like, "Bitch, what did you do? What did you wear? Was it good? Was it sucky?"
Right.
So we talk.
But that's
about,
good to have a friend like that.
Absolutely. And that's what I was telling Helen last week on the show. Like, when we started Makeup and Mimosas 2 years ago, I was not like, I look back and I was like, oh, I wasn't. You know, at the time I was like, I'm not bad.
Sure.
And now I look back and I'm like, dear God.
That is a good thing to have, because perception is complete reality.
Yeah.
Because I am my biggest fan, but I am my worst critic. And you can only do that.
Yeah.
Like someone, because a crowd member is going to be drunk, is going to be like, you're the most amazing queen I've ever seen in my life. And if you take that to heart and you're like, I am that person, you will never progress. I look at photos from like last year and I'm like, ooh, I would change that. Oh, I don't like that. And that's how you progress and progress and progress. Because if you think you are the ish, stop doing drag. Stop anything. Stop performing. If you think that you have it all figured out, you should stop now, because that's where you're just gonna stay.
Yeah. Well, because there's always room for improvement.
And there's always another bitch that's ready to take
Oh
your
my
spot.
God, yes. And like, I don't know. That's another thing. Let's talk about that. I think it's weird when queens, local queens, say that they're like the next insert another local, like a local icon.
People say that?
Yeah.
Like, I'm the next Mercury or I'm the next Suzette.
I've heard, no,
people say that?
I don't know if anyone wants to be the next Suzette, but definitely I've heard people
I don't
say.
think Suzette wants to be the next Suzette.
I want to be the next DeJa. But I've heard people say like, I'm the next Mercury, or I'm just as good. And I'm like,
what's
okay,
the point in that?
But the weird thing is, like, Mercury is unto herself.
Sure, she is in a league of her own.
Yeah, like,
absolutely.
No one can duplicate that.
Yeah,
because
that's authentic.
Yeah,
that's
it shouldn't
her.
work.
Right.
It should not work. But she makes it work. Why would you want to? If you do that, you're just going to be 20% of what she's doing.
I think also with the newer generation, they see and do rather than make up their own. I feel like we're just ragging on the new generation, but I don't give a fuck. I feel like it's very see and do. They go on Instagram for inspiration and they want to copy a mug. They want to copy this, and this is for anybody. It's not just performers, but they see and do rather than figure out your face, figure out your aesthetic, figure out what you like to do, and then kind of capitalize on that. Like you should never compare yourself with any other performer, because you will never be that person, and then you're striving for something that's unobtainable.
Right.
Like you're never going to be that. Be the best you, not what you are. And then also you're kind of like putting yourself in competition with someone that you will never get to their level.
I think so. I use it as a measuring stick personally, because like I probably 2 or 3 years ago I noticed, oh, I do everything Apple did 2 years ago. But I don't try to be.
That's the thing, is you didn't say like I want to be like Apple. It just so happened that you were parallel.
I'm kind of in her lane.
Point. Sure. Yeah. But it was never like I want to be like. I mean, you can obviously admire someone and look up to someone.
Right.
But I don't think your mentality is I want to be Apple. Like we don't need a single white female type of situation.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think I got lucky. Excuse me. Not with
Coronavirus.
that water in a minute. I think I got lucky because my drag mom. Like I didn't know how to.
Who's your drag mom?
Animosity.
I don't know. But
no one does. She's
shout out to her. Hey.
She's very elusive. I wish she would come out.
Right.
I miss her. I haven't seen her in a couple of years, but she painted me for a whole year.
Okay.
And then like she taught me how to do it, and like really just how to do, like, not try to copy something else, but like my aesthetic. And I didn't believe her when she used to say like, oh, when you paint, like you'll be prettier than when I paint you. And now I see it and I'm like, oh, okay. I guess I figured it out.
See, here's the thing, because and I can just speak for myself because this happens, is when you find an aesthetic or you find a look on yourself, you duplicate. When someone says do my makeup, you're duplicating your face on theirs. It doesn't always translate. You know what I mean? Now, unless you like went to school and understand shapes and understand this and that, it's literally just going to be like, I'm just duplicating my face onto yours, and that's not what it should be. Right. I have had 3 drag daughters. Now I only have 2. And I literally only did their makeup once or twice, and I said, find you now. Because I don't want me to paint you and you just be gorgeous for like the longest period of time. And then when you start doing your makeup, who the fuck is that? That's them. They look so gorgeous. So it really is finding your face. And how I developed my look so, not quickly, I wasn't like amazing within a couple of years, but how I developed my look rapidly was the fact that I had fire, and I would literally sit on my bed. I would literally do my makeup, like my eye makeup, and then wipe it off. Do my eye makeup and then wipe it off, and just find what kind of worked for me. And I will say, like, if you want to be a fully booked queen, one advice that I can give a fully booked queen is figure out a face that you can do quickly that still looks like you, and you can do it on a whim. Because if someone's like, because I will tell you this much, say you're not on someone's radar, like say like you had never met me, right? And you were, like I've reached out to you and you're like, okay, yeah, sure, maybe next time we'll get you in, but I'm just not on your radar. Say someone calls out maybe a couple of hours before and you just happen to give me an opportunity. That could be the opportunity for you to kind of open your eyes and be like, oh, shit, maybe I should have had her booked a long time ago. Because sometimes that's kind of how it works, being not a filler queen, but being kind of like a last minute kind of thing. And then that puts your foot in the door.
Sure.
Because sometimes being someone, like I said, sometimes all you book is friends, or
Right.
all you book is kind of the people that you know, and you really haven't seen that person. So find a look, do it quick, and also network the fuck. Like, I'm sick and tired. Like, what happened to the days where you would just be in drag just to go out and drag, rather than I need to get paid, I need to perform, I need to host? Whatever happened to those days? Like, whatever happened to like networking, getting yourself out there, and being that kind of just like, ooh, you know what I mean? Like, whatever happened to that? Now I feel like people just get into drag if they're fully booked.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say I don't do that, but I have.
Each to their own.
I have gone, like, I've networked.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've like completely gotten done up to
Sure.
network.
Yeah.
Like in the past.
Yeah.
So I did that, I guess.
But that's what I mean, is like your first couple of years.
Right.
To get your foot in the door. People don't want you to tell me about you. They want to see.
Right.
Because you can show me pictures, a filtered Instagram picture.
Right.
Like, I want to see you. I want to see what you're capable of, and then I'm kind of going to go from there. Because that happened all the time with in Fresno, where I'm from. People would be like, well, I'm this and I'm that. And I'm like, okay, well, come out. Why aren't you in face?
So so here in Sacramento we have after hours, or we had it after hours with Apple Adams. You're
Sure.
aware and
Yeah,
familiar?
on
Okay.
Mondays. Mhm.
Right. So that's a good chance for you to be seen.
Yes.
Not booked per se, but seen. Do you guys have anything like that in Fresno?
Yeah, they used to have something called So You Think You Can Drag at Fab. It was one, I think it was like every third Tuesday or something. And it was basically, it wasn't a everyone is welcome, but it was like contact her, and then they would have like 6 people. And it was a
Okay.
competition, and the winner got like a $50 booking fee.
Okay.
And then they would be, the hosts of the other shows would be there. Sometimes we would judge. And then that's a good opportunity for us to see
Right.
what you're capable of, not tell us. So, but that's great. Like, I think I actually judged a after hours one time. I was
Okay.
just here just celebrating someone's birthday, and they were like, do you want to judge? I was
Oh
like,
God,
sure.
I wonder
Why
when.
not?
I wonder if I was there.
No.
Okay.
It was the, well, I think the theme was like, I feel like there was a theme.
There
because-
often is.
Yeah, because I do remember someone was like an egg yolk. Maybe it was like food, and someone. There was a theme, but I definitely. I think that was the first night. I think she's from Sacramento. Her name is Princess something.
Princess B.
She turned it out.
Mhm.
She
She does,
turned
yeah.
it out for me. She did this like make it rain, and I was like, that was that thing where I was like, I could tell you're newer because she's so polished for being so new, but she was also very humble and nice. So it was a good kind of like refreshing that you're that beautiful, but you know, there's substance to you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You're not like jaded and
Sure.
Yeah. But you know, then that's why I love the Makeup and Mimosas cast.
Mhm.
Like being the kind of weird new why is she here? I
But
love
you all each one of you brings something different.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think it was Helen that I was talking to, or maybe Apple,
Mhm.
on this show. Like that makes a good show
Absolutely.
because we don't. It's just like you shouldn't try to be another queen.
Absolutely.
When people come to our show, like they're not going to see the same performance.
Yes.
And we kind of bleed into each other a little bit. Like
Mhm.
Apple and I will give you some of the same, and Taryn and Helen will give you some of the same.
But in their own way.
Right, and there and you know, and on the mic we can all kind of like we
Totally.
can all host.
Mhm.
But then like everyone's so good. I'm not counting myself. The other 3 are so good. And
Why
then
are you so self-deprecating? Like, why are you so?
Because well, okay, so I think
We're being real right now.
we'll be real.
What is it about? Like, why? I understand making fun of yourself. I do at the same
Mhm.
time. But why are you so very like? Why,
So-
Suzette? Why?
So those 3 and then you. I was
Mhm.
going to say you 2 today. Like you guys are such icons, you know, and it's such an honor and like privilege to get to perform with you guys.
Mhm.
And I always hope, and as we've done the show, specifically like since we moved to Badlands,
Mhm.
like okay, so this might sound familiar. I've had really good days. I've had really bad days.
That's any drag queen.
Right.
That's any performer, comedian,
For sure.
anything.
Sometimes I have a really good day and people are like, wow, that look. And then it's like a math problem where I'm like, I know I did it, but I don't know what I did and I don't know how to do it again. So I think that and I told this to Helen last week, I want to get to the point where my bad day is like a day where I'm like, like I didn't really kill it.
Right.
But like the crowd is like, no, girl, you still turned it. You still work. Like you are a queen. Like that's what I want my off day to be.
Okay. So but my only advice that I could give you for that is don't look for the crowd for acceptance. And don't look for the crowd for kind of feeling like how I said I'm my biggest critic and my biggest fan is the crowd is going to tell you anything you want. So you have to really kind of believe in yourself. And I kind of feel like you don't believe in yourself. And this is just me being completely honest. Because, I mean, we just met today, America. We just met today and clicked instantly. But I've been seeing that self-deprecation in you. And I'm like, I would hope humility is great. Absolutely, humility is great. But I kind of wish that you would kind of see, like, your star potential and your kind of, like that kind of thing, like how we were talking in the car, like I'm not saying I hate you, but I can't stand a woe is me kind of person. And I'm not saying I'm not saying that like you're doing that.
Right.
But it's just you should always believe in yourself. And I kind of feel like yes, the other queens have been doing it longer than you and yeah, they pay their dues and blah blah blah, but you're up there with them. Like you belong with them. It's not a everyone else in Suzette. And I kind of feel like that's your mentality. It's like, I haven't gotten to their level, but maybe you have, just in a different way.
I don't know what to say back, but thank you.
Yeah.
I think, if I'm being honest, I think I'm very good at what I'm good at. But I want to be well-rounded, you know? Like, I'm never going to dance like Helen, you know? But, like, I want to be able to at least do a dance number.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Do you work on everything, like you're obviously constantly working on your craft. Are you constantly working on the things that you're great at, or are you constantly working on the things that you're bad at?
I try to do both. You
should work on the stuff that you're bad at.
Oh, no, I do.
Yeah.
Like whenever I can go down to Stockton and dance with Helen, I do. And sometimes it's embarrassing to dance in front of other people and like be bad.
But we are in front of people all the time.
Yeah, no,
you know
and
what I mean?
you had like we talked about it, and she was like, "Don't come here if you're gonna feel bad." And I was like, "No, I need to feel bad.
Sure.
I need that fire. I need to feel like I need to do better."
Sure.
So, I will not self-deprecate.
Don't, because honestly, I feel like you're charismatic, but hearing that, it's very just like it kind of like flips the switch of like. I wish that you would kind of open your eyes and see what you're capable of, because everybody has their own kind of thing. And self-deprecation is not something that you want to be known for, or you want to be kind of that. And it's good that you've been comfortable with me and kind of like, I'm sure that's not something that you would just tell a random person on the street, obviously. But I would love to like for you to kind of like put yourself up at the level of everyone else, because I feel it. I feel like you have something that no one else has. And the same thing with every single person, you know, I understand the whole, I want to kind of do that. You can be a well-rounded queen without being a dancer. That's just one aspect of drag, or having great wigs, or having great, like, I feel like play to your strengths. And it's great to kind of want to be doing something else. That's always good to have kind of like that. But I wish that like you would know your strengths and kind of like play on that for the time being. Do you know what I mean?
I think I've figured it out a little bit.
Okay.
Like today's numbers.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, these are in my wheelhouse.
Yeah. They live for that I Love Rock and Roll girl.
Yeah.
They were into it.
Yeah. I think I've been really careful with how I pick my songs for brunch in the last 3 or 4 months. Depends if I'm hosting or not.
Right.
Because I can be a little weirder if I'm not.
Sure.
Because I'm weird.
Yeah.
And I know that. But sometimes an audience doesn't want weird. And like we talked about this in the car on the way, you have to give the audience what they want.
Yeah.
Not all the time, and not everybody should or has to.
Right.
But there are times where you just have to give them what they want. And so,
especially for brunch, I feel like for brunch is just a different. I feel like if you're just midnight at a club on Friday, it's kind of one of those things where everyone's drunk, who the fuck cares? But I think at brunch where everyone paid money, eating, sitting at you, I kind of understand where you're coming from. But do you ever feel like sometimes you were like, I'm doing something totally out of the box and they live for it? Or
Yes.
is it?
Yeah.
So then do it.
Okay.
Why kind of, and you know how I said the whole like see and do thing?
Mhm.
It's kind of a version of that where, oh, I wish I could do this like Helen, but Helen can't do what you can do. Oh, I wish I can blah, blah, blah. But it's, and again, this is like no shade. I'm literally trying to like
Right.
push you in like the right direction of like, you have strengths that not everyone has. And you should play on that and really amp that up because that's going to be more endearing
Okay.
than just self-deprecation,
Okay.
you know?
I,
Deprecation, no breathing, you know?
I will try to be more confident in my uniqueness. And
Yeah, you have star quality. Like,
Well,
girl,
I've never heard that. but
amp
thank
it
you.
up.
Okay. All right.
Believe in it. You don't have to hear something in order to believe in it. I don't have to hear it from Stacy, it's her bridal party and she's drunk and oh, you're gorgeous. I know I'm gorgeous.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
But
I know I'm funny. You don't have to laugh. I know I'm fucking funny. I mean, it does kind of annoy you when you know you're killing it and people are just like, really, girl?
oh, and that happens a lot. Like at a drag
Absolutely.
show. Oh my God. Sometimes
Mhm.
I say some of the funniest things on the mic, and people are just not paying attention.
But I'm probably the one in the back like, They're just-
I will say
the
it
heck?
made me very, very like. So usually this is just me and this webcam,
Mhm.
and we'll have a guest zoom in.
Right.
It was so nice to hear somebody laugh at some of the monologue jokes today.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I didn't know if I could. That's why I was like, because there was a couple where I was like,
Oh
but
no, you could.
I didn't know if I could laugh. Okay, cool. Yeah.
But I saw it and it made me feel good because like stand up has been like drag. We've been
It's
doing.
hard.
Oh my God, have you
to
done it?
write. It's on my bucket list.
Okay,
Because I feel like I am naturally funny.
you are.
I can't rehearse something. However, I feel like for me, the best comedy that I like. Sorry, not the best comedy. The comedy that I like
It's
is
subjective.
kind of like
you could say it's best.
is kind of like a self. Kathy Griffin
Mhm.
kind of tells stories about her life, but obviously elaborates it and kind of. I feel like that's more like because like we talked about how you can see a person's kind of heart and a personality on stage. I love seeing kind of like someone go through like some fucked up shit, but make it funny and make
Right.
it kind of like that. So like Kathy Griffin is my favorite comedian of all time. I fucking love her.
Okay,
Like I
think
love
she's
her.
great.
Oh my God, I fucking love her. Like I have all like My Life on the D List, all the DVDs. Like she's iconic. So I just love. So okay, back to me. Sorry. Yeah, it's on my bucket list,
Uh-huh.
and I want to do it eventually. And I've literally have I will show you my notes. I
Okay.
have just stuff that I'm like I feel like I can just turn it out, but it's one of those things where like I want to do it in drag because I feel like I'm already visually clownish, so it'll kind of like add to the humor because I feel like if I'm just on there a bald fat gay guy, it's gonna be like, okay, where's this gonna go? You know, as opposed to like let me kind of amp it up that. And then also I feel like so I'll come out visually appealing and then be funny as fuck. So it's kind of like, whoa, wasn't expecting that. You know what I
Right.
mean? Yeah.
Well, okay, so I have one show
Okay.
that I produce. I haven't done it in a couple years, but I call it the shoe show because like the shoes on the other foot. That's the whole like. Thing.
Got it.
And because it happened because a lot of comedians were like, I want to tell jokes in drag, and I was like, okay, I'm not the boss of that, but like.
I can't tell you yes or no. Just do it.
let's set up a show so you have an excuse to do it.
Sure.
And then like we did a couple, and then some drag queens were like, I want to tell jokes,
Mhm.
and I was like, this is the best show to do that because, and honestly, it just made me feel like the funniest, prettiest person, and because all these comedians were booger queens.
Right.
And I don't know if I've defined this for the show. So booger queens is how would you define booger queen? actually?
Unpolished, kind
Unpolished.
of someone that doesn't care about their visual aesthetic.
Okay.
But again, they can have other traits, like they could have perform, but it's just booger is basically visual.
Right. And so all these comedians that had never been in
done
drag,
drag.
definitely looked at, and I'll show you pictures after the show.
Please do.
Just wild booger queens.
Yeah.
And then the queens would come and they would look beautiful,
Sure.
but not have done comedy before. And I was like, this is too
It's
much of
total.
Yeah.
It's totally like if only like you had that humor into that. You know what I
Right.
mean? And then you could just create
like
a
team up.
yes.
Yeah. But I'll say that like it was really cool to see drag queens try comedy because so many drag queens host, but that's not stand-up.
At all.
Thank you.
At all.
Thank you.
Because hosting is you're going off the whim. I mean, some comedy is kind of going
For
off
sure.
the whim, but you have to literally plan something out. You have to literally like write shit down.
Right.
You have to plan it out and know that you're doing a set. You're not just asking the straight guy how big his penis is or can I get you a shot or blah. Like that's not it. You are literally with hosting, if the crowd is not getting at you, well, okay, give it up for the next. No, comedy is like you have to stand there, grit it, and continue. See, that's what's kind of scary. But I also feel like I would, drag is one of those things where I am not the person like. If I have a wig on or off, I'm the same kind of person.
Okay.
If I see you if I'm fully out of drag, I'm gonna talk to you completely the same. I'm not a character kind of drag queen. So I feel like the only difference is when you're in drag, it's almost like that suit of armor. Almost like you can get away with things that maybe you wouldn't be able to get away with as just your normal self. I think that's why a lot of people do it too. A lot of people kind of feel more confident. But however, I used to feel like that, but now that we're molded into one, it's almost like I can say and do whatever.
It's the same.
Yeah, no, totally. I've just never been that person to just be like, oh, I'm so different. It's just regardless. And that's good because sometimes it's hard to kind of come up to a drag queen. It's hard to kind of, especially if they're not welcoming, especially if they're very standoffish. And, drag is interpersonal. I mean, unless you're fucking just an Instagram queen, that's fine. But drag is interpersonal. You kind of want to create how we say you're just as good as your last performance, but you're also just as good as your last picture or your last interaction because word gets out very instantly. And you don't want to be, unless it's you, but I would never want to be called like, oh, she's a bitch. I mean, I don't mind a bitch, just don't fat bitch me. But it's just, you want, sometimes, most of the time, drag is an escape. Drag is for people that, like, I've had my friends that came from Fresno to watch me have not seen a drag show since COVID.
Oh, they came from Fresno today?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And it's that kind of, two of them were in tears because it's just, drag is escapism to people. And drag is one of those things where, like, it makes you happy. And it sucks if you just have this inkling of a person and then you see them out and they're completely a bitch, standoffish. Please don't be, I'm looking at the camera. Please don't be that person. Okay? Be nice. It's so easy to be nice. Even if you're having a bad time. If you're having a bad time, stay at home. Simple as that. Don't be that person that's just on stage. Like if you are walking around the club, just know that you are on. And be that person, take pictures, don't be rude, don't be a bitch. Because it's off-putting. And I will not tolerate that. I don't know about anybody else, but I won't tolerate that.
I think that's good advice. And
yeah.
I think you're very established, so I think people would do well to maybe consider that advice.
And that's just being a human fucking being. Yeah. I can't stand when I'm in a restaurant and someone doesn't say thank you to a waiter or doesn't make eye contact. That pisses me off. Or
just like treats them like they're like subhuman.
Slave or something. I'm like, yes, he is serving you, absolutely, but make eye contact and be freaking nice.
And just say thank you.
Yeah, I mean, and it kind of goes vice versa if you have a really rude fucking waiter. But it's just, they're working hard. Right. This is their job. Make their job easier.
So you hit the nail on the head when it comes, because that's what I always say when people are like, oh, is stand-up hard? Like when drag queens or drag kings or whoever, people in drag community say, oh, is stand-up hard? I'm like, yeah, because here's the thing. Like when you're talking to an audience, exactly what you just said, you can be like, oh, they didn't laugh at that joke. Next up, DeJa Skye.
Sure.
But with comedy, like if they don't laugh, you're like, oh, there's another 4 minutes and 30 seconds of this.
Yes.
And it's so terrible.
It's difficult. I saw two comedians when we went on a cruise to Ensenada, and one comedian bombed his entire set. Then once it came to the kind of the improv-y part where he just kind of talked to the audience, killed. Because that's easy. You have something to go off of. I have you to talk to right now. like I do a couple of YouTube videos. It is difficult for me, I don't know about anybody else, but it's hard to kind of speak to a camera and come off authentic, or speak to a camera and come off like you want to do it and you want to get there. It's so much easier to just talk to a person.
It
you
is.
know?
I will say that. So you described two different skills in comedy. So one is material, which that's the rehearsed. Like, I've told these jokes, they will work. And then crowd work or riffing is because I'm not sure which happened next. It's one of them, and they're very similar. But that's where you're like talking to the crowd and like just going off of people.
And that's funny.
No, it is.
But you can't do your entire set off that.
You actually can.
Really?
Yes. So the comedian that's not here today, Chelsea, that's always she is so good at crowd work and riffing that she can do
anything,
an hour of it.
Love that.
And then her comedy partner, and I'll have to have you in a show with them.
Yes.
He's the same way. Like, they can just riff. They don't need to do material. It's so impressive because it's a skill. It's a lot more similar to hosting.
Both are skills, really.
Right. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. But it is possible.
I did not know that.
So we will have to get you to try stand up.
Yeah,
at some point.
Want to. I'm telling you, it is on my bucket list. Like, literally written down. Like, my bucket list is like perform out of the state, which I've already done. Perform out of the country, which I'm working on, and then perform out of the world. I want to go on Mars.
Oh, okay.
I do.
All
I do.
right.
Well, I have my own orbit, so I feel like I'll just probably float up there.
Yeah, I think that's.
You'll float too.
Okay. I'm in your orbit.
Yeah, absolutely.
I am. Yeah,
honestly, I think there's a TV surrounding me right now. Definitely, just kind of. A cat just meow.
Yeah, just space debris also.
Yes.
Like recycling that needs to happen. That commercial.
I'm my own tornado, honestly.
You're your own tornado.
Absolutely.
That's how I should have introduced you. I think that is how I wrote it.
Tornado.
Kind of, yeah. This is what I wrote because I just made one up because I forgot I wrote one, and now we've hung out and like clicked and like, I love you, and so I was just like, I got this. But what I wrote was, this guest is a powerhouse performer. This sounds like a tornado. This guest is a powerhouse performer from Fresno who tears it up and up, down there, up here, and anywhere in between, and wherever else she performs. That's a tornado.
That's a tornado.
Tear it up wherever
Full
you go.
Tornado. Yeah. Twister. That's me.
Yeah.
I've lived houses before. I don't know how, but I've lived houses.
You could have an alter drag ego.
So
Twister tornado?
Thunderella, Twister tornado.
Yes.
Love that. I used to say that I had an alter ego. Her name was Ivy Biatch.
Okay.
And she'd be the mean one, I guess, but I got rid of that. Nowadays, it's just all of it.
It is weird. You start dragging. You're like, oh, I'll be like 8 characters, and then you're like, no, it's very hard to be one.
Yeah.
It's very hard to be one person, one look. Like, and I mean, you do a lot of look. I do one look over and over and over. I've started experimenting with colors in my eyeshadow after 4 years.
It's hard to do. Trust me. I was a neutral person for maybe 5 years of my career, and just because it's easy to blend and it's easy to kind of do that, it's hard to work with color. But once you have it.
My drag mom, very old school, was like, your colors should be on your clothes. Smoky eye.
Very old school.
Yeah.
Very old school.
But I love her. And I'm so glad. And you know the rest of my drag family.
Yeah.
I just kind of wormed my way into people's hearts. So I have 4 aunts.
Yeah.
Apple, Helen, Mercury, May.
Love that.
Right. And then I don't define my relationship with an older drag queen that we know.
Okay.
Because it makes her feel old. So.
And she will tell you. She will let you know.
Yeah.
I'm not your fucking grandma.
Yeah.
Can we cuss on here?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Can I say grandma?
She's gonna kill me because you said that. Like, it was very nice performing makeup and emotions.
She's not gonna care about fucking. She's gonna care about the grandma thing.
Yeah. No, she's not gonna care about cussing.
Yeah.
Like, nobody does. But like, if she watches this, she'll be like. But here's the thing.
Whore.
I told her one time, I was like, I think you're my drag grandma. And then she was like, no. And then she turned around, right? And she turned back and she was like, have some hard candy. And I was like, no.
Not Coraline.
You cannot give me hard candy after saying, like, where are the orange slices, bitch? Like, come on.
She is everyone's drag grandma. Like, she's like the fairy. How about this? She's the fairy drag mom.
That's absolutely accurate.
Better than grandma because she'll love that better
for everybody.
Like, I literally walked in, said hi to everyone, Kiki that and that. Girl, she gave me full on makeup. She gave me a queen necklace. Like, she's fully that person. Like, she's, and it's weird because she's gonna kill me, but I think she knows this. She's not a warm person. She's not a. she's not like a.
Well, she isn't. She isn't.
Okay, yeah, that sounded so wrong. Like I'm like, no, she's not warm at all.
No,
but
but I know what
like
you mean. Like that's not how people would. You have to know her
Sure.
to feel the warmth.
Because immediately, and I think this is maybe just the drag thing. That immediate, you think, let me be catty, let me be comical right off the bat, rather than like when someone walks in like, oh, you're back. It's that immediate thing. But if she likes you, she'll give you gifts.
Yeah,
she'll give you gifts.
She's like a drag fairy godmother.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my aunts are very very weird. So I have the fun one that's like my mom, Apple.
Mm-hmm.
I have the very business one that will like slap me if I do wrong, Helen. Yeah, I have the
and you'll slap her back, of course.
Right. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Helen. And then I have the crazy one, Mercury.
Yes.
And then the like really, really pretty one that I see twice a year.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how are we related?
Yeah.
And that's May.
Totally.
Yeah.
May has been stunning her entire career. She will tell you otherwise. But she's been stunning her entire career.
You talk about self-deprecation. She posts pictures and she's like, I'm so ugly.
Oh my
and it's like,
God. Now, is that a cry for attention? Is that like fishing for compliments?
I don't know, because I don't know what is she seeing that like the rest of us see one thing?
Here's the thing that's kind of going on to that. You know how like, well, not you know how, but I feel like the people that are the most insecure look the most visually appealing. People that go to the gym a lot, they're always talking about them being fat. Or people with abs and chest and just gorgeous, they're like, well, I want to get this done and I want to get that done. Just like, do you see what we see? Like, you're fucking gorgeous. But they do have that kind of like self-deprecation, kind of like, no, I can work on this and I can work on that. And honestly, that is perception is reality. Like once they open their eyes, and honestly, it comes with age as well. Because I kind of feel like when you're really young, you're kind of that false confidence, that kind of like, I'm going to put it on, but then at home I'm going to cry. You know what I mean? And I think when you kind of come into your own and you get a little bit older, you kind of, hey, I do. Like it's weird because whenever I didn't gain true confidence until I started gaining weight. I didn't gain confidence until I gained weight. No, and
so like it came in with the weight.
Absolutely. And like I think age had something to do with it too. But I remember when I was my skinniest, I would never even swim with my shirt off. Skinniest. Like 160, 180, like flat stomach. I would never take my shirt off. I would be so like, I don't know. Now I'm like, I don't give I'm just changing in a dressing room. I don't give titties out, belly out. I don't care. It's just. And like it wasn't until I gained weight that I kind of felt that confidence.
It's interesting.
That's very weird because it's usually the other. I've known a lot of people that have lost weight and then they gain confidence.
Right.
And I've also met people that have lost weight and then gain cockiness.
Oh.
And I'm like, you remember what you? Okay.
I just try to maintain with what I wear while I perform. I'm like, no, I just need to be that weight.
Sure.
Because I'm kind of a hoe. So, I mean, I'll say it.
Hey, body positivity. You can be a bigger hoe.
You can.
You
can. Oh no, I'm not saying you can't.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I'm a hoe, and I'm like, I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep
Ho-ish.
it. I'm gonna keep it this size.
Yeah. How do you maintain weight? How do you maintain your weight?
Exercise.
Never heard of it.
Right. Yeah. Running, yoga.
The only thing I run is my mouth.
You know what? That's something.
And you said yogurt.
Mm-hmm.
Love that.
Yes, right.
Love that.
It's good. You can mix some fruit in.
Honey, what fruit?
Uh-huh.
What did you just call me?
The people that come to brunch.
Fruit.
Yeah.
Flamers.
You mix them in with the yogurt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. I love talking to you.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you want to talk about right now? Or shall I ask you a question?
Let's ask. Let me get a drink of water.
Yeah, have one. Okay, so let's see. What have you been up to during the pandemic?
Eating. No.
And also, if we get sidetracked again, I'm good with it.
Okay.
I got I care about time for you and Jesse, but. I'm just enjoying myself.
I'm very that person that will just, and you got to give me a cutoff and then I'll know. Okay. But even then I probably won't even know. Pandemic, sewing. Actually, the pandemic actually made me confident in sewing for other people.
Really?
So I used to, like, I sew all of my own costumes. Like, I've been doing that for maybe like 8 years. I literally just bought a sewing machine and just dived on in. But
Is that something anyone can learn?
absolutely,
Really?
anyone can learn anything as long as they have the drive for it.
Okay.
Anybody can learn a cartwheel. Anybody can learn stand up, or anybody can kind. It's wanting it. It's wanting that fire and wanting to kind of get into it. Like, people will be like, "How did you start this?" or "How do you do that?" I just started doing it. How'd you get so good at makeup? I practiced my makeup. How'd you get good at sewing? I practiced sewing. It's just one of those things. Like, I'm doing nothing that you can't do. You just have to want it and try it.
But I mean, that takes some of who you are out of it, right? Like, surely you're talented and special on your own, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not reinventing a wheel.
No.
I'm putting makeup on my face in like a different shape or something like that. But I'm not one of those people that's like, "Oh no, how dare you?" Blah blah blah.
Okay,
you know?
and normally I'd make a self-deprecating joke here, which I'm not going to do.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Mhm.
But let's say there are people out there that you see put on makeup for 6, 7 years, and you're like, you aren't getting it, right?
Okay. In this instance, I will agree with you.
Okay.
There's queens that have been doing it for a very long time, and their makeup isn't where I can't say should be, because who the fuck am I?
Let's say it's not where they think it is.
Yes.
That's
okay,
a nice
well,
way to say it.
that's also delusion. A little bit delusion.
A little bit.
I think it's just. I mean, it depends what kind of queen you want to be, and what kind of, who you want to kind of like. For some people, makeup is. They don't care about the makeup, or they don't care about the wigs, or they don't care about the. It's just what you kind of want to, do. Like, I always knew that the first thing someone's gonna see is my makeup. The second thing someone's gonna see is probably my ass, and the third thing is probably the costume. So I kind of focused on that, and then that will tie it all together as my personality. So I kind of feel like that's the package of DeJa. Like, yeah, I can perform, I can dance.
Where's hair in there though? You makeup, ass, costume.
Well, I think what happened. Okay, so. Back to fucking 40 minutes ago, when we were talking about, what kind of, queen you want to be, or what your strengths are and everything. I feel like when I first started out, obviously I wasn't great at makeup, wigs, none of that. So I was like, okay, I'm a dancer. People kind of pigeonholed me to be like, you're a dancer, you're a performer. And that was great. But what I wanted to be was an all-around great drag queen. Kind of like how you were saying, but it was more or less, okay, I have performance down. Let me work on something else. You know what I mean? So that's when I started buying more wigs and started, like I said, practicing my makeup, because I was like, okay, I got this. Let me get this. Once this is down, let me work on that. Once that is down, let me work on that. And it was a gradual progression. Now I feel like, so I went from a dancing queen to once I started sewing, then people kind of known me or associated me with like costumes, or like, you're like kind of put together, and again, my makeup wasn't the best, but I think it was great for what I was trying to achieve at the time. Then hosting came into play, and showing a personality and showing kind of that, because and again, this is a generalization, I kind of feel like when you're kind of just a certain type of queen, like I'm just a performer, I feel like then all you're associated with it is that, and I feel like that's all they clearly want the world to see, is I'm just a performer. There's nothing kind of behind it,
Right.
And so after I started, sewing, then I was like, okay, what's next? And then styled wigs I don't know how to do wigs. Okay, let me just put that out there. But I think I've always loved wigs, but I just bought 2 wigs and just stacked them. That was my big hair. And then once I started, getting into styled wigs, I'm like, oh, this is elevation. This is kind of where I want. It's like a natural progression. Or when I started loving color, I started loving pastel, and I feel like it was a natural progression. It wasn't like, why is she randomly loving pastels? I feel like I have a colorful personality, so I feel like it kind of fit, And then I started doing the whole unnatural color with wigs. And then that became kind of the thing, and then that's what people would associate me with too. And then I was like, okay, well, let me take that and put it on my eye, because again, I was just neutral eyed, and I would just do a nude lip, and it was great, it was cool, but I was just like, I think your exterior should match your interior as well. Like,
Okay.
like what you kind of like, if people know you as a bubbly personality, I feel like that should translate aesthetic wise, you know?
Okay.
I mean, I'm not, again, I'm not saying it should. I
No,
feel
no.
like it kind of makes sense with the total.
I was thinking about
package.
that for me, right? Because
Yeah.
I am known as bubbly.
I feel like your aesthetic
right.
works for your sense of humor and your what type of queen you are.
Okay.
I feel like it makes sense. I really
Okay.
do. And that's what I mean by, like, you may not think that you're a total package, but I feel like from performance, comedy, and aesthetics, I feel like it makes sense. There's some queens that, and again, this is no shade onto them. It depends what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like there's some queens where there's no rhyme or reason for what they're doing. They put a brow up here, but why?
Well, see, now that I think
You know.
that was me not that long ago.
Mhm.
Like, why am I wearing this? Why am
Sure.
I performing this?
Mm-hmm.
Why am I choosing, that look in this moment? And like,
And I think you were doing the whole like see and do type of situation. Well, they're doing this.
possibly,
Maybe.
I think more it was just like kind of stabs in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
No pun intended for where we are. But like, as I read stab behind you, like just really like just hoping that I get it right, but
Mhm.
not understanding how to get it right or
Or
what
why
right
you're-
was. Yeah.
Mhm.
Because you see, and this is 6 months ago,
Okay.
so allow me some
Yes.
latitude,
Uh-huh.
Your Honor. So you see, you're performing. You're me, right?
Yes.
And you're performing with Helen and Taryn and Apple,
Mm-hmm.
an amazing guest like DeJa Skye,
Mm-hmm.
and you see them, and you're like, how do I do that but be me? Like,
Sure.
what's my version of that?
Sure.
And-
But that's another thing, is being inspired and not copycatting.
For sure. No, I
You're-
think that's important.
Yeah, you're inspired by them and you want to kind of get to that level, not I want to do what they're doing, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
I think maybe semantically I probably would have said I want to do what they're doing, but
Mhm.
I meant like
Totally.
I want to
Yes.
I want to do my version of that. I want to be
Absolutely.
me, wholly and totally me.
Yeah.
But like I want to do that
Sure.
as me.
Yes.
So I think it's a process, you
Mhm.
know.
Oh,
and,
absolutely.
And again, like 4 years is not long.
Mm-mm.
So I feel like I'm just kind of figuring it out. And in comedy, they say it's 5 to 10 years to find your voice.
Mhm.
And I've heard it's probably about the same in drag.
Yeah.
And so you said you're 10 years now,
Mm-hmm. And I still feel like, I swear I started
still finding
yesterday.
it.
Yeah.
which is so crazy to hear you say that. Like you like when you became associated with costumes, because
Mhm.
I look, before we booked you and I got to meet you, like I knew of you,
Mhm.
but like I really started like looking into you for this interview.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh my God, these costumes are amazing. Like, and it looks like that's been your thing the whole time.
It's only like maybe 8 years, but it's just, I mean, it's like I said, like I want my visual to match my personality and I want my
Right.
visual to match my performance and stuff. So I think it takes time. It takes
Yeah.
a lot of time. I mean, nowadays people are coming out just stunning and people have designers and this and that, but I pride myself that I'm literally, besides my wigs, I am a like sole producer of DeJa. I taught myself how to sew. I taught myself how to do makeup. I taught not taught myself how to host, but I did that. There's not one person besides my wig maker that can say I'm the reason for that. And that's what I pride myself on, because I really and I've always been a go-getter, and I've always been a person. I remember I worked for a dance company for 5 years, and when I decided to leave, the owner said, "I love your road less traveled mentality." And what she meant by that was, when people tend to go right, I tend to go left. I don't want to do what everyone else is doing. I don't want to be someone else. I want to be me, you know? And if people look up to me and people want to like take from me, that's great too. But I also don't want to be the same queen all my life. I don't want to be the same person all my life, you know?
Okay, so here I will not be modest.
Okay.
I will say that I too take a left when everyone else is taking a
Sure.
right. Do you think that is what makes a good star?
I think so.
Because you said I was a star,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I think you're a star,
Mm-hmm.
and I think all the queens we performed with today are stars.
I think originality can't be faked. And I think that, I mean, again, we're not trying to reinvent a wheel.
Right.
We're just trying to invent the wheel that says our name on it almost. You know, we're trying to kind of like stay in our lane and almost kind of like create our own lane, you know? And we're not saying we are the inventors of anything, but I think that.
But I mean, you are, because you are the inventor of DeJa Skye.
Yeah, but
right?
I mean, when I think of it, like, what I mean by that is I feel like there are some people out in the world that are like, that person copied my blue wig that was a half updo. Did they? That person copied my highlight. And I used to have a girl that I worked with that said that I copied her highlight. Something that every drag queen does. I copied highlight. Oh, you took that glitter from me. Oh, how dare you wear platinum blonde hair. And it's very like they were taking what I worked on, and it was again, I feel like it was a natural progression, and took credit for it when in reality it wasn't. If I got inspired by someone, I will give them credit hands down. I will not be like, no, no. If someone inspired like a wig, I will definitely give them credit. If someone inspired a costume, if someone inspired a makeup, I will give them credit. But if I don't need to give you credit because you were not the person that I got inspired by.
It's just so crazy that someone would accuse you of stealing a highlight or like
something that everyone does.
Well, yeah, because like I don't know. So okay, two questions or one question and then one
follow-up question.
Yeah, not really a question, more of like a yes, that's the one thing I don't know what my viewers, because I don't actually know. I know we have viewers, but I don't always know who they are and I don't know how they feel. Okay. So I like to relate back to comedy or drag. Sometimes I have comedians on that I'm interviewing and I'll relate back to drag because it's always like, oh, that's like my other world. Yeah. So cannot steal someone's jokes like that, like obviously, and you know that. Sure. Like that's the one thing to me that's taboo. I want to know your opinion on seeing another queen do a number and being like, I like that song.
Okay, I think it's kind of stupid to put your claim on a song that you didn't write or produce. However, if you have an entire concept for that song and someone was, this has happened to me in the past. I did a specific costume, and I made it because I make all my mixes. So I had a specific costume, wig, like it was for that mix. I got off stage, someone said, oh my God, that was so cool. Do you think that like I could probably do that like song before? I was like, yeah, girl, like go ahead, blah, blah, blah. She was like, okay, well send me the mix. And then also like, I think I'm gonna, and I was like, okay, that's where it's like beyond the flattering. I think it's kind of like plagiarism.
Send me the mix.
Send me the mix.
I want merch that says send me the mix.
Yeah. Yeah. In
and
pastel.
Right, in pastel. And then on the back it's like fuck you. Like,
yeah. No.
Send me the mix. Oh my God. That's my new catchphase. Like that's our thing now. Yeah. When someone says something ridiculous, send me the mix.
Send me the mix.
Like,
okay.
What is that?
It's people, and like the crazy part is I don't even think she like understood how it came across. I think she was kind of like, it's normal. It's not normal when you're trying to create your own lane and you have someone trying to steal. And the first thing, this actually happened to Kara one time. Kara makes, shout out to you, sis, Kara
Coronado. Who I've never met her, but I am very upset.
She's so funny.
Oh, so here's the thing. She said that Clive Max is the snack of sack. Right, and I'm just mad that I didn't think of that first. Right, but it's okay because like, oh my gosh, I'm a nosh. Yeah. Okay, back to Kara Coronado.
Yeah, so she's amazing, better than me at mixes. She's amazing at mixes. She had this mix that she again she got inspired from another queen, but she made it her own. It was her TV mix where she just did different kind of theme songs for TV. And she's the type of person where like. Not me. I am the opposite. I'm like, if I made it, I own it. Unless there's a couple of mix that I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll sell you. She made a TV mix, performed it everywhere. There was a queen. I'm not going to put her name in it because it wasn't her fault. It wasn't like Kara gave her the mix. She performed the mix quite often, okay? So you have two people that are being associated with one mix. When you go to a bar, that the other queen did that mix and she's being associated with it, and Kara Coronado comes on the stage even though it's her original mix, and someone goes, I can't believe she stole this. How dare she? It belongs to blah blah blah. It's kind of like, but she's the originator, and like, and again, it was it had nothing to do with the queen. Like, it was just a person kind of being like, no, this person, it belongs to this person, not knowing that it was Kara's original mix. Like, it was hers. She made it. She has, you know, the rights to it. It's just so, it's so crazy. Like, it's like, oh.
I think so. For me, what I've thought about, because now that I'm starting to do more popular songs and some pretty cool songs.
Popular.
I did that actually. We had Broadway.
Isn't that her?
No.
That's cute if you didn't know.
It was a wavy long blonde.
You love blonde. Is blonde your signature color?
It is.
Cute.
It is
Platinum, right? Or kind of any blonde.
Which is this platinum?
Yeah.
Yeah, then platinum.
Yeah.
I honey blonde is okay, but
you want to be supernatural.
I do.
And platinum is supernatural.
Right, it's supernatural.
Yeah.
And people think that I'm 22 or
Love
24.
that.
Right, I know. And I'm like, okay, we're blonde all day. We're not changing ever.
Ever.
Yeah, we don't talk about my natural hair color on the show.
Yeah.
So what was I saying? Oh, songs. If you do a song, like, okay, so I did a song a month ago, and like 3 people, like drag queens, were in the audience, and they were like, I want to do that song. And in my mind, I'm like, because I just killed it.
Right.
So, like, you got to kill it better.
So that's flattering, yeah. And then also you're like, there's kind of a... No, totally. I just don't think that, like, someone owns a song. But I do understand if someone owns a mix or someone owns a concept. And I've seen that done a lot. And especially with the new frontier, which is Drag Race. People will see and do. And that's fine. Or YouTube is everywhere, so people can, you know, people will record any performance and they'll just fully copy it.
I think so. There's another strange phenomena I noticed in both drag and comedy is there are people that get into them, and we've talked about this a lot on the show. So this is kind of like a slight recurring theme on the show. There are people that get into performing, not because they need it, not because they're a performer. Because they think it's like, this is funny, they think it's like a get rich quick thing or a get famous quick thing.
Oh my God.
And it's like, oh, honey.
But you can, as an audience member, as a fellow performer, as anything, you can clock that and you know what is the real tea.
Absolutely. But it's like, I'd be performing, like, I'd be like telling jokes in the bank line to other people. Like, I tell, like, I can't not, like, it's not like a perverse sad, like, oh, she needs attention.
Right.
It's more like, no, I need to perform.
It's innately you.
It's like I breathe and then I perform.
Sure.
That's who I am.
Absolutely.
So it's so perplexing to me. And that's what it sounds like. It sounds like those types of people would steal a mix or a concept because they don't have something inside of them.
They don't have creativity.
If you have no creativity, what are you doing in drag?
Sure.
Like,
but it's that thing where drag is the new frontier. Drag is that thing that drag used to be looked down upon. Like, when I first met a drag queen, I was grossed out and I was scared. I was like, what is that? But it wasn't until I was kind of like, dang. So it was.
Do you remember who it was?
Then, no, I don't even think she does drag anymore.
Okay.
But I was just very like, what the hell is that? And again, I was a little like 18-year-old kind of fresh out. Because I came out at 18. I came out very late for some reason. So I was freshly out and I was like, what is that, you know? But it's so crazy that it went from like looked down upon to praised, even by mainstream, even by like everyone. Like it's kind of the thing, like people say that drag queens are the mascots. Literally in the LGBTQ plus community, we really are the thing to be. So it's just a natural thing for people to want to be that. And that's fine and that's dandy. However, again, authenticity can't be duplicated, and we can see right through you, Mary. You know?
Yeah.
Just have conviction and want to do something because you want to do it, not because you think it's gonna get you rich. Because unless you've been on Drag Race, you ain't gonna get rich. And everything you spend goes back into drag. All the money you make goes. We just got tipped the house down. Where do you think that's going?
Oh, I can tell you where mine's going. Mine's going to Liz.
See?
Wait, yeah.
Shout out to you, Liz. She just made me 5 gorgeous wigs. Oh,
she is amazing. And
so
like
good.
People are like, Suzette, your hair, and I'm like,
did she make that for you?
Yeah. Yeah, Liz does all my hair.
Yeah.
Like I have a couple that she hasn't,
Mhm.
and that's just because either they just aren't good enough to.
Mhm.
But that's why I love her, because I can bring her something and I'm like, I don't know what to do.
Oh, she like
Yeah.
redoes it for
And
you.
she's
absolutely.
like, this little lost puppy will be a thoroughbred. Like that doesn't make sense because I just made it a horse. But that's what Liz
Nay.
does. She takes
She does.
puppies and turns them into stallions.
She takes trash and makes it into treasure.
I mean,
She messaged. Yeah,
I'm not
she.
going to be self-deprecating. I was gonna. It's hard.
Stop
It's
it.
hard.
Stop
It's
it.
hard. Okay.
She. Whenever I reached out to her and I said, "Hey, I have 5 wigs. Can you blah blah?" And she's like, "Oh, okay. So do you need a roller set and this and that and clean?" I was like, "No, they're like brand new, sis. They have the full lace." And she's like, "Oh." Because apparently people just do that. And then, I mean, but she's great. She doesn't even try. I will say this, Liz, please don't up the prices on me. But I think that she charges not enough for her wigs. I think that she's pretty good. And she charges I feel like she charges chump change.
I think she's amazing.
Yeah.
And that is where like most of my tips go.
Yeah.
At least like.
So you're like a hair, so like your favorite thing to buy is like wigs.
Well, so I was trying to step up like my hair, right?
Okay.
So for a long time, like I think my shoes are great. Like I don't think
Oh,
there's
those
anything wrong with
those
my
gold
shoes.
booties. I was even looking. I was like, I would fall over. I
Oh my
would
god,
tip
that was the
over.
first time I ever wore those.
Oh really?
Yeah, I've had them for 4 years.
So cute. What size shoe are you?
7.5 or 8.
Fucking bitch.
Yeah,
You fucking
I know.
bitch.
I'm not even.
I'm 2
modest.
of those.
Are you?
I'm a size 14 wide or 15.
Well,
I'm talking about my penis. No, my shoe is 14. Yeah, 14 wide or 15.
no, it's it's,
Got a big ass canoe.
It is. I would hate me
Yeah.
if I wasn't me.
No, I'm telling you, I've never met another drag queen that has a smaller foot than that. Usually, drag queen
Drag
performers usually are 9, 10, 11. You
Yeah.
know. So, fuck you. I'm leaving.
Look, and like I said, I'm very good at what I'm good at, and I
Mhm.
have really great feet, really great legs, and really beautiful toes.
Work.
So I wear open-toed shoes, and
You don't pad, huh? So you just do you wear tights or do you go bare-legged?
I wear tights all the
okay.
time. Today,
You were wearing tights. Yes. Okay.
but yeah, no. So I like it went. It right now, all the tips go like. Not all of them, of course, but like the bulk of what I put back into my work has gone to Liz, and hopefully she's not watching. She's like, no, it hasn't. It has. I just because like everything, I want everything to be better.
Sure.
And I don't know how to sew. I do know how to shop.
Have you ever wanted to try to learn at least how to make?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And what's like stopped you?
I don't know if I can start myself.
Okay.
I want someone to kind of like guide me to start.
You never thought like, let me just watch a YouTube video.
No, okay, so like when I started with like makeup,
Mhm.
people were like, just watch YouTube video.
Yeah.
And I was like, you do, but none of it makes sense.
So you're a hands-on person is what you're saying.
Yeah, I learned
Okay.
kinesthetically,
Okay.
a little visually.
What's a philocanopy? I was like,
Yeah.
what's that?
Yeah. It's a food,
Yeah,
It's a snack.
Mm-hmm.
You have breakfast and then kinesthetic.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I don't know. I just kind of want someone to show me the ropes, and then I'll learn my way, and I'll doubt myself 1,000 times,
Yeah.
but I'll try to figure it out.
What sign are you? What's your sign?
Like Virgo-y.
What do you mean Virgo E?
Like it's on the cusp, I think, right?
Virgo to Leo?
Yeah.
Okay. So do you identify, or is there any, do you identify with Trixie at all? Because she's on the cusp too.
No.
No, not at all.
No. So we're talking Trixie Mattel, right?
Sure.
Okay. So when I was watching, like, because I got in super late, right? Like the first season I watched live was 10. And then.
No. I mean, it was a slight judge.
Right.
But it was like, because I started season 1. So.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
Right. I don't
But
know
I'm-
how you
but
could
I'm sure you caught up,
see
correct?
anything,
Yeah.
like on season 1.
Mhm.
I did. Well, okay. So I watched up through 5 and then I stopped.
Okay.
I think I just burnt myself out.
Because you were like trying way.
Yeah, well,
okay.
just because I just binged like 1 through 5, and at a certain point, like you're like, okay,
It's kind of the same thing.
it's just wash, rinse, repeat.
Sure.
Which is weird that I stopped before Bianca,
Which
as
is my favorite
comedian
season. Yeah.
I think it probably would be. So I I was watching and I'm looking for like who I can relate
to.
because you are, that's what you do as
Absolutely.
anybody
As a person, yeah.
right. And so season 1 nobody, right?
Not even like Tammy Brown.
Okay, so that one I was like, is that me?
And I'm not trying to like typecast you.
Sure.
No, I don't.
But that was my fear.
Yeah.
I think Tammy Brown is how I am scared people see me.
You're not Tammy Brown at
Thank
all.
you.
No,
Thank
you are not a delusional kind of person. I think you have a very specific comedic kind of timing and stuff, and that's not Tammy Brown at all.
So then I think season 2 or 3.
No, not. No, because Pandora's not funny. Okay, season 3.
Well, so no, hold on. There was
Okay.
this one queen. I don't remember her name. I can look it up because I have the internet in my hands. She came on,
Okay.
right? And she's the first one off, whichever season.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, I'm an Italian, blonde, bimbo, bombshell, funny. And I was like, bitch. Like, I'm watching this like
Sure.
15 years late.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why are you stealing me? And she was gone in one episode. And I was like, well, she's not me. Okay, I'm going to look it up. Season 2.
Oh, Venus Delight.
Maybe.
She's Italian.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
Venus Delight.
and she does Madonna.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Which I did last week. But we're drag queens, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm drag princess, I say.
Mhm.
So like you're gonna hit Madonna every once in a while. Then season 4 was it 3 or 4? Not that I
4
identified with Latrice,
was Latrice.
but I was like, oh my god, she's my favorite ever. I will
That's
never have
the
another
world.
favorite.
That's the world. She is the beloved.
Right.
She is the one that like. There's not what like when you think of Drag Race, you think of like 4 queens. You think of Bianca, Alaska, Alyssa, and Latrice. Those are kind of the 4. Oh, and kind of Adore. But those are like the 5 that when you think Drag Race, those are the 5 that go to, and all for different reasons. But Latrice is literally like she's just beloved.
Oh my god.
There's
like,
not one. I don't think there's one person that dislikes her.
So I was binging. It was during when the pandemic started, right?
Mhm.
And because it just popped up on my Facebook, and I wrote like, Latrice is my favorite and always will be.
Yes.
And then I watched season 5,
Mm-hmm.
and I finally. Okay, so first before Latrice, there was
Okay.
Bendela, and I was like, is that
Yeah.
no? But
No.
it didn't feel right. I was like, it's kind like it's. That's how I think somebody would that doesn't know me would describe me.
Because generalizations.
Right.
It's the same thing with anybody that is like kind of skinny and pretty and fishy. They'll Courtney Act. You know, and I'm glad you brought that up because drag is not Drag Race.
It's not.
It's not at all. So if every single reference you give me is, you're giving me kimchi, you're giving me Trixie Mattel. How about I just give you DeJa Skye or a knuckle sandwich? Am I in kindergarten right now? I can't. One, I hate comparisons. I can't stand comparisons because again, I'm trying to stay in my lane.
Right.
So when you're overlapping, and just because I'm wearing say I'm wearing that wig, I don't want someone to come. You're giving me Suzette. You know what I mean? Like because I think they're thinking that it's a compliment, but in reality, it's like, okay, there's other kind of things in that lane.
Around Sacramento, that would have been not a compliment for a very long time.
I mean, but that would have kind of if you want to piss me off, it's compare me to another drag queen.
Well, I think a lot of people like that's important for us to talk about, and if anyone's watching and they're like, "Oh, I love drag," right? But like, I think that is a drag queen's biggest pet peeve is when they get compared. Like I know, like Apple gets Trixie all the time,
even though their
nonstop.
makeup shape is not the same at all.
Right? But like, oh, they're both like,
and their
white
aesthetics are not the same at all.
Right? But like, it's just So anyway, Bendela was like, I was like, oh, because at first I was like, oh, is that? No, it's not. That's not even. That's not me as a
not
performer.
even close. Yeah.
And I don't want. We just talked about how people shouldn't do this, and now I'm going to compare myself to a RuPaul drag queen. But
you're doing it. That's different.
It is.
Someone's
It
doing
is.
it to you.
I'll say who I at least can aspire to be or related to. It was when I finally saw Jinx.
Okay.
And I was like, oh,
that I can see.
Can see. That's me. Like if I could be,
but in a positive way. Someone's not doing that to be like. Someone's not saying it for you to like piss you off. Like that's something to aspire to be. Absolutely.
I was just like, oh, she's weird. She's quirky. She's like talented in ways that others aren't.
That nobody else was during that season.
Oh, and it's crazy.
Sorry about it.
Yeah, no, it's crazy watching it like 10 years later because you know she wins.
Yeah.
And everybody's talking shit the whole time, and they're like, she's gonna go home, and you're like, she's not though.
Well, that was the thing. I remember that was the first season 4 was the first time we had viewing parties at my old club, and we would rotate hosts and stuff. And season 5. I apologize, season 5. I was like, Jinx was on season 4, season 5. And I remember people in the audience like responded to her, and then a queen that I will not talk about because she doesn't deserve my breath was like, if she was from Fresno, you guys would talk shit about her. And I was like, that's your mentality, sis? And this was after Sharon Needles just won. Okay, drag is changing, drag is evolving. It's not a pretty fishy pageant girl,
right?
You know, and they were the ones that were pigeonholed. You know what I mean? Like, you can say that Jinx is a comedy queen, but she's so much more than that.
Oh,
she's an actor, a comedy queen. Yeah. Yes, it took her a while to fix her makeup, but that's one aspect of it. There's no makeup challenge. There's no maxi challenge about makeup.
Right.
It is about talent. Makeup, yeah, it is a talent, but you are just pigeonholing her and just a comedy queen. No, she's just a phenomenal entertainer.
Oh my God, is she good?
She's amazing.
So, and maybe that's why I stopped, because I had just binged 5 seasons.
So you were like, I found who I love.
I between her and Latrice, I'm like, I'm
set.
Right, very upset. And I want to see Bianca's season, and at some point I'll circle back.
Yeah. It's amazing. It's my favorite season.
And I know she's amazing.
And I was a fan of hers before she got on Drag Race. Like, it's always nice to kind of like be a fan. Well, not always, because sometimes they like disappoint you. But it was always cool because season 3 with Raja, I was a fan of Sutan. Because I was a binge watcher of America's Next Top Model. I loved America's Next Top Model. So when I saw him on Drag Race, I was like, oh my God, I know you. And then with Bianca, I had searched her on YouTube, and I found her really fucking funny.
Right.
And I loved her makeup. And this was around the time that makeup like that wasn't really a thing. It was, again, pretty blended, gorgeous. That's fine. But I was like, I really like her kind of, you know, her makeup at the time was very 60s inspired, you know? And I loved her. So I was like, she's literally going to win. I predicted Raja and I predicted Bianca. Those are the only winners that I predicted. Every single other season, I was like, well, that didn't go. Because I slept on Jinx. I think everyone kind of slept on Jinx.
Right.
You know, and to me, a compelling story on Drag Race, kind of anywhere, a compelling story is starting from the bottom, now you're here. Rather than like an upward trajectory, and maybe some, you know, bumps, but rather than a downward trajectory or a plateau trajectory. If you're just the same it's not compelling, and it gets old, as opposed to you're constantly getting better, and a little bit of bump and then getting better. It's a compelling story.
We want to root for people.
Absolutely.
You know,
and the underdog is the one that everyone will root for.
Well, and yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess I fell in love. Like,
I love her
with her as a performer. Like, it's just, she's so amazing.
I will say this too. I heard through the grapevine that Drag Race Superstars is actually happening, and her and Bob are my main people that I think will win.
Oh. So a comedy fan, he watches this show. He just sent me.
Hi.
His name's Bob, actually.
Love
also,
that.
Right. And he sent me a clip of Bob the drag queen, and he was like, this is pretty good, because he's a comedy.
Sure.
He totally, I love him. I love you, Rubber Bess. But I was like, yes, that's Bob. He's very famous. She's very famous and very, very funny and very good. So it's funny when people don't know. Like, it's refreshing, I guess.
I was just about to say, to me, it's not funny. It's like refreshing, because for everyone else from the outside looking in, the only drag queens that they know are people on Drag Race. So it's very like, you don't know who that is. And like, we're not saying you should, but it's very like, oh, well, let me tell you a little bit about blah, 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 blah. Because it's like, yeah, it's cool. Because again, you cannot support drag and not support local drag. You cannot support drag and say that you only like Alyssa Edwards. That's not supporting drag. You're supporting Alyssa Edwards. You're not supporting the art form of drag.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about supporting local drag. We're just not going to do my questions, and I am fine with that.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure people know that this is all just us talking.
Yeah.
This is great.
This is what happens when you have a connection.
Yeah. this is a kiki.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and people should be careful when just look up Kiki.
Yeah.
Because sometimes
Don't put an A in it. Don't
yeah,
put an
sometimes
A in
my
it.
straight friends are like, it's a kite, and I'm like, nope,
No,
that's a different thing.
Obviously
That would
different.
not be televised.
Mhm.
So, supporting local drag, and I
Mhm.
think maybe that's one way that I don't want to say I'm unique because I know other people are like this, but my favorites, my
Mhm.
favorite drag queens are
Local entertainers.
yeah, my favorite comedians are people that I know and worked with that I get to watch struggle or succeed.
Mhm.
Like I don't do I love Dave Chappelle? Yeah. Duh. You know, Natasha Leggero? Sure. But like I don't
I love her.
she's amazing.
Yeah.
That's who I want to be as a comedian.
I love that for you.
And well, I don't know if I'll ever get there, but that's not self-deprecating. That's
No,
just
that's
saying
just
she's
aspiring.
amazing.
Yeah.
I love them both, but like Chelsea, the comedian that's on the show, she's one of my favorites.
Mhm.
Another one of my favorites, I don't know why he just called me. He knows I have a show, but he just called like 20 minutes ago. But it's like, same with drag. Like, I want to support the people that are, because what is the difference? I think I asked this to Helen. What's the difference between you performing today, right, and Venus Delight?
Mhm.
Like, you're better,
Yeah.
you know?
But it's the having that title in front of it.
Sure.
It's that entitlement. It's the and I don't know if you ever saw it, but Jasmine Masters posted a video. I didn't agree with everything she said, but Jasmine Masters started RuPaul's Drag Race has fucked up drag, and what she said by that is not that. What? Okay, how about this? Her delivery was bad because basically she said her type of drag is the only drag. That's not what I think she was trying to get across.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what she was saying was now that there's a quote unquote standard that every single local queen has to have a coiffed up do, has to have a stone gown to the floor, has to have new stuff every single time. And that's because to the people that just have I mean, everyone has a YouTube video or sees Drag Race. Like, well, not everyone, but most people in our community, they do. And so what they're doing is they're thinking that that is the only form of drag.
Right.
And how you said you should be able to kind of like relate to someone. So if someone is relating to Bob, they feel like every single queen should be like Bob in order for them to like them, and that's not okay because like we said originally, you cannot fake. So if you're wanting everyone to be the same, is anyone really being original?
Right. Well,
You know?
and that's why I appreciate Mercury so much because she shows other people that aren't as educated.
Drag aficionados. Sure.
Right. That like, oh, this can be drag too.
Mm-hmm.
And I love my show. I was telling you about it on the way over. It's called Queens in Comedy, and I love when, because half the crowd comes. It's funny. It's so cool. Half the crowd comes to see the drag queens,
Mm-hmm.
and then they see live comedy for the first time, and or maybe not the first time. Maybe they've seen bad live comedy, and it's turned them off, and they're like, oh wow, this is good. But then the same thing happens with drag. Like
Mhm.
people will come to see the comedians, and they'll see. Like I had some comedy friends in the crowd today,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that's one of the ones that I told you was like, oh, she was amazing.
Yeah.
Like they've never seen live drag, and it's so intensely amazing,
Right.
you know. And like local performers, I just it boggles me when people don't want to support them.
They deserve more. Sorry, we deserve more. You know,
Yes,
I think that drag started as local.
Mhm.
Drag will forever be local. You know, and like it takes 2 seconds to view an episode of Drag Race, but it takes a little more effort to go to a club and support people. I think that's the thing about where the world is right now. The world would rather have convenience. So the world would rather watch a streaming episode as opposed to going out and actually supporting local drag. And that's why it's very important, you know? And I feel like sometimes the only people that really support local drag queens are other local drag queens. I feel like and that
And
sucks
Becca.
to say. Yeah. But I just think that it just shouldn't be like that. Like you should have you should have the same amount of people supporting Fridays Are Drag than they are supporting a Drag Race girl. You should have the same amount.
Well, and
It should be kind of a you're coming out, yeah, you're coming out for the headliner, but also the queens in the show, they're here every single Friday busting their ass more than the person that is on the flyer.
Oh,
You know?
yeah, absolutely. And now I know this from talking with other people, but now it's become, and not with everybody,
Mhm.
but it's become how much money can you spend? So, and I think that's where it gets into the whole, like, where's the creativity?
Mhm.
And I say that, and like I said, I try to spend as much money on hair with Liz as I can.
Mhm.
So am I being creative? Not with hair. But sometimes I have ideas. I just can't execute them.
Yeah.
So
But you can be a well-rounded drag queen and not know how to do hair, or
Oh,
not know how to sew,
absolutely,
or not know
ma'am.
how to do that. You can still, that's the resources. There's so many more resources nowadays, But like I said, like I pride myself on being self-efficient, and just can't do wigs.
I am the opposite. I've always said it takes a village to be Suzette Veneti.
But there's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that.
I hope not.
No, not at all. Not at all. No, I'm that person. Like, I'm not going to look down on a person if they didn't sew their own garment. That's dumb.
Right. What do you think about store-bought items?
I don't mind it.
Yeah.
Just
okay.
make it like we're not on a stage on VH1. That's a little bit different. That's on an international level. That's different. There's different stakes, high stress, different things. You're at a local bar and you like the dress and you like the shoes. Do it. I just think have conviction behind everything you're doing.
Wait, do you know people that make their own shoes?
I actually do.
Really?
Yeah.
How? What?
I don't
know a
how they
cobbler.
do
You know
it.
a drag cobbler.
Yeah.
Go on.
Well, not like personally, but I follow them on Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's
And they
Do
just,
you-
they build them from scratch.
yeah. Also, there's a Etsy store that has like I think it's like heels for queens or something, and they have like these crazy, and they will do big sizes. Like that's the
I
other
don't know
thing
what that
is
struggle's like. I'm
okay.
sorry.
You can fit in toddler size, girl. You bitch.
I mean, you know what? They're cheaper. So
Yeah,
I save money.
I wish I can go to a store and get a fucking pair of heels for $1.
Well, I wish I could sew. So we're even.
Touche, clever girl.
Yeah. $1. That'd be nice.
I mean, but sometimes you go to like a sale and they're like, oh shit, like that would never happen.
Yeah,
Ever happen.
I did see like an Instagram ad for some heels the other day, and I was like, I want you, and then boom, they were in my size.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did a number last week. The first time I've ever done a number in sneakers. They were cute.
Mm-hmm.
They're like white, and then they have rainbow sole.
Oh, that's cute.
Right.
So you kick someone in the face just to make sure, rainbow bitch.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Look, check out my rainbow.
I support.
It's Skittles. Yeah. So, but those like, they just also. So I'm very lucky in that
you are.
aspect. I know it. I do come across a little bit snobby when like people come up to me after a show and they'll be like, "Where do you get your shoes?" And I'm like, "Amazon." Like,
Right?
I don't know what to
Nothing
say though
special,
because I'm
yeah.
like you can see that these dainty little feet. Like,
Yeah. Are you looking? Are
but
you-
making like oh my god, if Liz could make shoes, I would pay Liz to make shoes. I would trust. 'Cause I
Shout out
trust
to
her
you,
with
Liz.
everything.
This entire show is sponsored by Liz.
Oh, she has a credit in the show.
Yeah. Oh,
There's
really?
Credits, there's credits that
I
roll.
love that.
And Suzette's hair, Liz,
Love that.
because credit where credit is due, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I think that's another reason that maybe, and perhaps I'm a bit too self-deprecating, but I also want to give so much credit to the people I work with on a weekly basis.
Sure.
If not for, and I know sometimes I can be too much, like, help me pick this, and it's like, girl, pick your own stuff.
Yes.
But at the same time, like doing a show with them, with you, it's sink or swim,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like get better or don't. But do
But
one.
again, your strength is your strength, and everyone else's,
for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. But again, credit where credit is due.
Yeah.
Working with you're the company you keep, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like Kara must be good because you guys are tight.
Well, we became friends when she was trash.
Oh, okay. Well, were you not trash then?
I'm totally kidding. No, but I'm not.
I don't think she watches this show.
I don't think I'm one of those people, though. I don't think I surround myself with people for a specific reason. I hope.
No,
But
not for a specific reason.
I
but
just don't think that like I like surround. I mean, I think what you're trying to say is surround yourself with like-minded people.
no.
Oh.
Okay, what I'm saying is, so like, yeah. I mean, sure, that's a great concept.
Yeah.
But like, so you know how you hang out with friends and like their slang becomes your slang or vice versa?
Oh.
So like,
see
I
what you
think
mean.
if you hang out with people, like you might like you don't become the company you keep, but you glean off of them.
I see what you mean.
You by osmosis, you know.
Yes.
So that's what I'm
You and
saying.
those big old words.
I do like them.
Stop
It's a
it.
strength. It's a strength.
Osmosis Jones. You remember that movie?
I do. I love that. And is that not
You
a
were
great
what, 20, 25 or around?
6? 4.
D.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
No, you're getting me back from my dainty feet, which are the beautiful feet of a woman, however old I am.
Ooh.
Osmosis Jones, great drag name,
Completely.
right?
That is a complete drag name.
Apple is so good at that.
How did you get Suzette Veneti?
Well, it's my
Inquiring
name.
mind wants to know.
It's my name.
I'm sorry. I apologize. How did your mom come with us?
I will tell you off screen.
Okay.
But Osmosis Jones, I've lost my track. How did we get there?
You said osmosis. Oh, around the people.
because I was using big words.
Yep.
I don't know. I like sharing. Like, okay, this is gonna.
Are you saying like you like sharing the glory or something like?
No, I just like being in the company of other creative people.
I mean, it really does help because if you're the only person that's if we're gonna open the floodgates, let's open the floodgates. The show that I was with for 6 years, I felt like I was the only one putting in effort, and I was the only one delivering. So that's why I left, because I felt like I wasn't around like-minded people, and I felt like I was kind of like, why are we getting paid the same? Why are we in the same show? Why are we on the same level when I'm the only one putting in effort? And I've talked about this before. It is what it is, but that's a real fact. And then you kind of find your tribe, and you kind of stick to that, and you help each other. Like I call her my Gigi, who does my hair. I call her like my unofficial drag daughter, because I've helped her a lot, and I've with makeup or with costumes or stuff like that, and it's a tit for tat kind of situation. But
yeah, I think finding your tribe, like that's a commonly used phrase, right?
Yeah.
Us older women, we don't know the young slang, okay? But I think that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Because it pushes you to be more creative and
absolutely
work harder.
Absolutely. Because like I can say self-efficiency, absolutely, but being around self-efficient people or being around people that are also pushing the boundaries, it makes you kind of push the boundaries. Like how you said, being around Taryn and them, like it made you want to be a better person. Because I mean, and even with, I think it was like season 12, one of the drag queens, Widow Von Du, she said that like her makeup wasn't good until she started getting ready with other queens, because you're just getting ready in your home, you do your own thing, blah blah blah, but you're not getting any new tips, or you're not kind of like pushing yourself, but when you're around other queens, and that kind of like gives you that kind of like edge, and that kind of like, okay, like a push.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I should be maybe trying new things.
Oh, I absolutely. That's that. And I've been painting at the bar.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Next to Apple,
Mm-hmm.
just because I want to experiment with color. Like I bought these great palettes, and I'm like, well, I only smoky eye. So
I mean, you can still smoky eye, just change the color.
Sure, right.
Because you like your, I'm sure you like your shape. Like your shape suits your face.
I think.
I
mean,
no, it does.
Okay, I was gonna say you are a makeup goddess.
Yeah.
Okay.
It changed. Just change the color.
So yeah, my drag mom described the smoky eye that she taught me as a beige rainbow, right? And so it's like you can make like a pink rainbow, or you can make a green rainbow.
But I like that your eye goes out. I think it's complementary to your eyes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I've added some things on my own, almost from
which you should
messing up.
Oh my God, sometimes that is the only way to learn.
Right.
It's just to fuck up.
But then like sometimes you fuck up and it's good,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, oh
yeah.
And then you don't. At least me, I didn't know until I saw a picture, and I was like,
Oh, that worked out.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then it's
that
back to
worked.
like, how did I do that?
Oh my God. Don't you hate that when like you just feel yourself one night? You're just like, oh my God, I'm a goddess. And then you're like, I'm going to try to recreate it. And then it never happens the same.
Oh, I was agreeing with just you feel yourself and then you look back and you're like, oh, because definitely in year 2 you look at year 1 and you're like, well, and then year 3 you look at year 2 and you're like, nah.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
And it's crazy to think like now, like
Mhm.
we're sitting here
Mhm.
and you'll look back at this and you'll be like, maybe you won't. Maybe you'll be like, no, I was fantastic.
Yeah.
But I'll look back and I'll be like, oh, hopefully I have grown. So
Just, I mean, but that's the thing is teaching, like learning. You're not going to like, I'm not going to learn how to get better at something without visually seeing it. Like someone telling me yes is going to put it on my radar, but me seeing it myself, that's what's going to make me change it.
So you're also a
medium. Yes. I
Yes.
see ghosts as
Right.
well.
dead people.
Donald, no. I definitely see.
You're a visual learner.
I am a visual learner. No, I actually I am a visual learner because I can like replicate things and
Right.
yeah,
like
totally a
like
visual
like
learner.
like a I was gonna say, you know, Marvel, like Echo
Yes.
or Taskmaster.
Mm-hmm.
So you're the Taskmaster of drag.
I do want to see Black Widow.
I want to see it.
That's
so
coming
bad.
out next month.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, I'm like, I just finished Falcon and I'm sorry,
I haven't seen the final episode. Don't ruin it.
I will not ruin it.
Okay.
I finished Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Mhm.
I like to call the show Falcon Soldier because they set up this whole thing with WandaVision. So I'm
Mhm.
like, no, WandaVision, Falcon Soldier.
Falcon Soldier.
Yeah.
Low key.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know whatever other characters in it,
Yeah.
but and it's like where was I gonna say?
We lose our
that's-
train of thought a lot.
We do. That's the
Mhm.
problem when I don't like. I'm
We
not
just
going
ramble.
down. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's so easy to do with people that you like.
Mm-hmm.
We got there somehow.
We're talking about Marvel.
We were talking about Marvel.
And you said, and then I said Black Widow because I'm an idiot and I interrupted.
Oh! I just finished. No, you're not an idiot. I like to tell people that's how ethnic people talk.
Yes.
Like we don't take turns.
No.
It's not like I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to do, right? Because now that's over, and Loki doesn't come out until
like
June 10th,
Mm-hmm.
and then like Black Widow doesn't come out until
May.
like.
Well,
but
May 9th. It's like at the beginning, but there's no like Disney Plus.
What do I do in the
is
week
what
in
you mean.
between, and then what do I do after
That's
Black
true.
Widow?
That's true because Falcon and the Winter Soldier came out right after WandaVision.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I need overlap. I don't make me wait a week, Disney.
Right.
You Marvel.
You bitch.
Yeah. Okay, so we are nearing 2 hours, and
Oh my God, are you serious?
Yeah, we are 10
I
minutes
feel like
shy.
I've been here like 10 minutes.
I know that's what happens.
Sorry, I ramble.
Oh, he works with me every week.
Okay,
so,
cute.
yeah. Helen's gonna buy him drinks because
Love that.
yeah, she said she didn't want to.
Okay.
But I'm just putting it on her.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Jesse has to deal with it. He's gonna come to brunch.
Make sure.
and
you
Helen's
buy him
gonna
drinks.
buy. Yeah. So there are things I didn't get to ask you that I wanted
Okay.
to.
Yes.
No,
Okay.
and I'll just have to have you back because I wanted to talk. I wanted, if you will.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about your cosplay.
Okay.
Anyone watching, go to DeJa's Instagram and just the cosplay. Oh my God! See, now that's something I would love.
And I
to
make it all
learn.
myself.
Because I see the cosplay outfits I want online, and I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, I guess I'd pay that. But you just make it.
It's more special that way.
It is
Because if you think about it, you have a one-of-a-kind thing that no one else on this earth has.
I have one of those.
Like, and this is what I tell people. I understand when you have a custom piece from a designer and blah, blah, blah. But I was like, you have literally like, someone can try to replicate or someone, but you have a literal like, there's something special about that. Like,
Mhm.
if you made 4 of the exact same dress, there's something special about each dress. Think of
Sure.
it kind of like that. Like, even if you make 5 of the same exact wig, there's something different about that wig. And you have a one-of-a-kind thing that no one else, that's exciting.
Yeah.
That's like cool. Like I think that was one of the big things why I wanted to sew is I was like, I have something that no one else on this earth could have. That's fucking cool.
No, it's
Yeah.
super cool. Okay, so the one question I have is
Yes.
if I do a Marvel cosplay,
Yes.
what do you see? as because
You dressing up as?
Yeah, because you are my goddess of cosplay. Well, okay, let me caveat.
Yes.
Apple's my goddess of cosplay.
Okay.
You are my new goddess of cosplay. I can have two.
Well, because
this is not a monotheistic religion.
Well, yeah, because I mean, I don't do a ton of cosplay. I think like my character is DeJa, but I totally see what you mean. I could.
Okay, hold on. I was gonna go through them and like put up pictures
And be like, bitch.
and we'll do it
you
again.
are-
But like, this is the list and this is not even a complete list.
Mhm.
WandaVision, Captain Planet, Storm, Michelle Wazowski, Maxie Mouse, The Last Airbender, Voldemort,
Oh, I guess I do a lot of cosplay.
and Pikachu. Like,
I guess I do.
that's a fair amount.
And I have a Jigglypuff. I have a I did a Despicable Me a minion. Okay, I get
you sitting here across from me like I don't do cosplay.
but see, here's the thing is whenever I was mid like maybe 4 to 5 years, I did a lot of characters, and I think I was kind of like trying to put myself into that kind of thing. And then I kind of got more, I guess, conceptual.
Mhm.
And then now I'm kind of in that thing where I can kind of do whatever the fuck I want.
Mhm.
And I'm a huge Marvel fan, like ginormous Marvel fan. My biggest inspiration, one of my biggest inspirations for drag has been Storm, you know. Okay, I feel like you've done her already, but I can totally. Oh, and wait, is this Marvel? Only Marvel.
Okay, yes,
Okay,
because there's a whole thing with DC. Like, I'll tell you
Okay.
later. But yeah,
I
Marvel.
can see you as either an Emma Frost.
Oh,
I could tell. Just I feel like it would be kind of an easier kind of grasp. But if you want to go like complete opposite, I could also see you as like a Dark Phoenix.
oh,
I could totally see you as Dark
I
Phoenix.
could totally do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think Emma Frost would be like an easy kind of thing, you know,
Right.
blonde and all that stuff. But I think with I think Dark Phoenix, it was kind because I don't see you as. I mean, again, I've just met you, but I don't see you as like a dark character, you know. And
Okay.
I besides the self-deprecation, but I can see you like embracing the dark side, just like Jean Grey embraced the Dark Phoenix.
Oh,
you know?
absolutely. So the one I've been waiting to do
Mhm.
is, you ready?
Yes.
Spider-Gwen.
Totally.
I want to do Spider-Gwen.
That's cute. But like with your Spider-Gwen, well, you wouldn't have to wear makeup. She just wears the full mask, huh?
I mean, she does, but like, you'd want mask off,
True.
you know?
As a drag entertainer, yes.
Yeah, and then the hood down because
Mhm.
like it's a.
I've
hood.
done Deadpool too.
Have you?
I've done Well, I did like female Deadpool. I did like big curly blonde
Man,
hair in the back.
I don't do cosplay, and then you're just
I've
pulling. You're forgetting. You're remembering.
I am.
Yeah.
I am.
Okay.
Totally.
Okay.
Well, I think it was like one of those things where like didn't. I guess I just didn't consider it cosplay. I just considered it drag, like a character. But I'm like, I do a lot of cosplay. You're right.
I've done original Miss Marvel.
Mhm.
Well, I shouldn't say original. I've done Carol Danvers Miss Marvel
Okay.
in like the black.
I was
with
like,
the
Carol
lightning.
Danvers, not the original.
She's not.
Yeah.
No, that's why I corrected myself because
Yeah.
I realized who I was talking to,
Mhm.
and I was like, you know this.
Yes.
And I don't know if the audience even is following at this point,
They're
but
like,
you
what?
know, yeah.
Mhm.
I've done Carol Danvers Miss Marvel with the red sash and
Okay.
then lightning bolt.
I love that.
That is it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it's good that you're wanting to kind of get into that.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those things. Not only are you creating Suzette, which is and then you're like you can add layers to it and do
Mhm.
another character. That's always empowering and that's cool.
I just think it's cool to think about characters in your own filter,
Yeah.
you know. And
Well, that's
and,
what I did with like WandaVision.
right,
I created literally my own character.
right.
You know?
Which in case anyone's watching and hasn't looked at Instagram yet, you combined Wanda and Vision.
Because as soon as I heard the thing, I was like, oh, maybe in an alternate universe, they're just a combination of each other. That's why I stuck with kind of the yellow theme, but then I wanted to kind of give the silhouette of Wanda, but then I also wanted to keep his skin tone. But I used the skin tone obviously from the show in Marvel. I didn't want to do red,
right.
so I did the kind of magenta from the show in Marvel Studios.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, but it worked like that, and like
I was
just
very happy with it.
the level of creativity to get there is like, it's like, I don't know. You just get not jealous or envious, but like, whoa.
There's a drag queen in Fresno. Her name is. It used to be Emma Berry. Now it's Emma Femme Brulee.
Okay.
And she is the most aesthetically creative person I think I've ever met. And I kind of have that same thing with her. Like, how did you think of that, or where did you get that from? It's very just their mind is a different level, and like you said, it could be kind of an envious thing, but it's more or less like a I wish, like if only.
Yeah, I wish I could come up with that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm glad you know. So I have to have you on for that, and then all these other.
Can we please have a Marvel show? I would love to have a like just Marvel.
Yes,
I would love.
You're talking a live show.
Yes,
where we at least 2 numbers, Marvel characters.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yes, this will happen.
And then also, if you have me again, I'm just if you have me again, I just want to talk about Marvel.
Oh, on this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Superheroes.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. Okay. I'm
love
in.
it. Do it.
We'll
Let's
just.
do it.
I've been like trying to get with Apple just like a comic book like Queen's talking comics.
Yes.
So if she doesn't want to, we can talk Marvel.
Hello.
She's like a DC, so it was balanced.
She is a DC person.
Okay, because DC's not good.
It's not good at all.
It's not based in reality.
They have like 2 characters that are good.
Harley
and fucking Wonder Woman. That's it.
I do like Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
I like, and of course I always get like, oh, you should do Harley. So
that's so like cliche.
I want to do it because I have an interesting song for it. I'll play it for you on the way back over.
Well, I guess it would just depend what version you want to do. There's a lot of Harley versions.
I want to make up my own for this song.
See, original.
I want to try.
I love it.
Okay, and then all these other songs or questions that I'm not going to ask you because I don't want to keep you too long.
Okay,
but we'll get back to them one day.
Sure,
you'll come back.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, thank you so. I'm always a little bit nervous that people are like, no,
not at all.
Yeah, this was not fun. I do want to ask you rapid fire questions. Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
And it can be as rapid as you want or long.
Okay.
It took Helen 35 minutes to go through these 5 questions because her answers just got
long-winded.
And I was like, girl, you wanted to be done. I love her.
Yes.
So much. And I'm glad
at
that
least
she
one of us
answered
do.
these
Continue.
Okay. Drag name you didn't end up using.
Sasha Diamond.
Oh.
It sounds like a stripper.
It does.
So, well, you said long. So, before on Logo TV, they used to have a thing called a dragulation app where you would basically kind of create your own drag queen. And this was before I even did drag. So I just
after you're okay with it.
Yes.
Before you did it.
Yes. Okay. Because I watched season 2 and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. So I basically used like a picture of me as a boy, but then they would kind of like on the what they did for like Drag You and stuff. And then just immediately I just said Sasha Diamond, but then when I was thinking of drag names, I was like, no, that's a stripper.
Did the picture that it made for you look anything like you do now?
No.
Okay.
I just because it was literally just a boy picture, but they would put in like drag clothes, and I'm like, oh. Oh no.
And yet you still were motivated to do drag.
Yeah.
You would think that would kill it.
I mean, I'll try anything once, except for vagina, but I'll try anything.
Just not vagina.
No.
Okay. That's fair.
Yes.
That's fair. Favorite wig color? This is a good question.
Honestly, anything pastel. I gravitate towards pink, blue, or lavender.
Oh.
Yeah.
I got a lavender moment to show you.
Yes.
Do you name your wigs?
No, but me and Gigi were kind of naming colors. Like, I have this like terracotta wig that she's making me, and I think we called fucking shit. What did we call her? I think we called her like Terry. And then like but yeah, I don't think I have like nickname. I should. That's kind of a cute idea.
Okay.
Yeah. Or then we have like a there's one that I've been loving. It's like a purple root with like green and baby blue in it, and then I'll just call it like, well, that's the AB color, but yeah. Do you name your wigs?
No.
Okay.
No, but
Suzette A, Suzette B, Suzette C.
Yeah, pigtails, long hair.
See, that's the thing is like, how do you really explain that? You're just
unless you have if you have like an Ariana, right?
Sure, totally.
Which all mine are upstairs. I'll show you them.
Okay.
Because it's like whoa.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's like an Ari. There's to me, the like pigtails are just pigtails.
Yeah, I used to kind of be that person where like, because whenever I first started, I was in an impersonation show, so they would want us to impersonate people, and so I would kind of do that. But now I'm just like, and it's funny because actually, whenever we always circle back to Helen. Whenever I walked in with that purple wig, Helen was like, what are you gonna do in that? And I was like, oh, I'm gonna do this. She's like, in that? And I was like, I'm a person that's like, I'm not gonna give you Whitney Houston. I'm gonna give you DeJa Skye doing a Whitney Houston song. I'm not gonna give you a Beyonce impersonation. I'll give you Luther Vandross as DeJa Skye giving you Beyonce. You know, it's that's my thing. I'm not like here
a
and
female
there
impersonator.
Yeah, because honestly, like, yeah, most likely if I do Britney, I'll do a blonde wig. But is it gonna be exactly like Britney? No. You know, it's just like that's my entity. DeJa Skye's my entity. So I'm going to do it as I would do it. And I kind of think that's the new generation. The old generation was very impersonation.
Right. I mean, whether or not I want to, like, I think I'm with you because, like, if I did Britney today, I don't think I've ever seen Britney in crimped hair. But
you did Suzette doing Britney.
I was like, that's what this number needs.
Sure.
Okay. When you put on a bra, do you clasp it in the front and spin it around, or do you do the weird unnatural arm thing and clasp it in back?
I actually cut off the clamp. I actually sew elastic to it, and that way I can just put it on. So I don't need help or anything.
There are so many women watching this show right now, like
you should
going back, and they're like, "Wait, what?"
Also, because I am I like my cup size. I like double D, but I am a bigger girl. I usually can't really find a lot of bras my size. And then if I hate having to like really pinch it down because then you get rolls and you get kind of stuff like that. So I'd rather just do elastic than boom on, boom off.
How high is too high for high heels?
I'm a big bitch. Okay. So I can do like a pleaser stripper heel as long as the arch is not high. Like to me, it's not the heel height, it's more the arch. So I can't have like a kind of like that. I think like my arch just can't be very high. Like, cause I can do freaking settles up to here as long as the arch is not crazy.
So what's the tallest platforms you can do?
My Skye. It's funny. They're actually called pleaser skies. I think that's like a 8-inch platform.
Oh, that's too much for me.
But the arch is not high.
No, but
so they're pretty comfortable.
Cause I like you saw my shoes today. Like I'll do whatever. But I have some 7-inch heels, and I'm like, nope.
Yeah,
those are death.
Well, I mean, that's the difference between I would never wear those to perform in, but I could totally wear them to like walk around in.
Okay,
you just got to be smart about
Network.
that kind of stuff. Yes, because
get to know people.
Yeah, because also even with wigs, I would never perform in this. I perform in something small, kind of out of my face, or maybe like to the back. But I would, I take care of my wigs. I spent a lot of money on them, so I want to make sure that I maintain them.
Sure, so, yeah. Been learning how to do that.
Yes,
for 6 months. What is your favorite show or venue? What's your favorite show to perform in? Recurring show?
Makeup and Mimosas.
Oh, thank you.
Honestly, I have had the most fun I've had in a very long time, but I do love like Beau. I love Illusions by Celia, has been fun, and then hopefully Splash Fresno.
Well, I am grateful that you had so much fun today.
It was a blast, and honestly, like half was accredited to the audience, but half was accredited to just us kicking in the back. It was fun.
That is new for me. Like I've heard that from other queens, and because like usually the shows that I am part of like is really chill, and I just found out that like some drag shows aren't really chill, and I was like, oh
yeah. Well, I mean, but that's that thing is like how I said that drag queens will naturally go to cattiness or being mean.
Oh no, we have a great dressing room.
No, absolutely. Well, that's what I'm saying. It was literally just like being with family, you know. I try to think that, and people have told me this. They said like they love going or they love being a show with me because I'm just carefree and I'm just like cracking jokes and stuff. And shout out to you, Hazard Strange. She actually said that when she goes to other places, they're like there's this drag queen in Fresno. Her name is DeJa Skye, and like she's like the best to be in the back with, and like that's good. Again, like I think it's good to have respect from your peers, and it's also great to have respect from the audience as well. So you just be a good fucking person.
Be a good person. Yeah. Just be a good person.
Yeah.
What's your favorite venue? Do you have you kind of named a venue?
Yeah, I've already. Yeah.
Okay. What's your favorite song to perform to?
Can I say a couple? Sure, I can.
Yeah.
Don't Rain on My Parade from Glee. I love I Should Have Cheated by Keisha Cole. And I also love my boy band mix. So I do a mix with NSYNC and Backstreet Boys mixed together.
And you just for people watching that don't know, it's NSYNC and Backstreet Boys themselves, not covers.
No, they are them.
Okay.
Yeah. Like yeah, they are them. I will go back and forth. It'll be like NSYNC song, Backstreet Boys song, NSYNC song.
And that's okay with drag. Like you can do.
I love doing boy songs. There's no rules when it comes to drag children. No rules at all. And if someone puts a rule on you, they're fucking crazy.
But people can put rules on themselves.
Sure.
But you don't have to. You can do whatever you want.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Like I love doing a male kind of song, and it's kind of like that juxtaposition of like, oh, she's looking like this, but she's doing like I love that. I love that kind of like, oh, okay, didn't expect that. You know?
Okay. What is the funniest thing an audience member has ever said to you after a show?
You can suck my dick anytime you want. And
wow.
He was hot.
Oh,
and did
okay.
I?
All right.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
I was like, that's a weird offer.
And I sure took it.
Okay. Well, congratulations.
He was hot, tall, dark chocolate.
Do you have a favorite? This is a weird transition question to go to. Do you have a favorite LGBTQ activist?
Suzette Veneti.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Self-promotion.
Okay. I don't feel and this is not deprecation. I don't know if that's deserved, but thank you.
You're welcome.
What's your favorite item on the gay agenda?
Oh, well.
I want to know whatever you were thinking that made you laugh. But what do you want to say?
Well, in Fresno right now, a church is trying to buy our Tower Theater. Our Tower Theater is like the gay mecca of Fresno, and they're trying to buy it, and the pastor is homophobic. So why would you be in? Yeah. So I think that we're trying to prevent them from being able to buy it.
Okay. So
that's
preventing churches from buying gay landmarks.
Not okay. If he came in
right
with a different attitude, it would have been different. It's the fact that he almost cackled at us for trying to fight for our
protecting gay landmarks.
Yes.
Okay.
And like because we and it's because of COVID. This would have never happened if it wasn't for COVID. They just weren't making money.
So here's what's cool is normally it's a joke question and people are like brunch, glitter, sleeping in.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually like a really deep, good answer.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Which do you think the COVID-19 pandemic has affected more, the gay dating scene or the straight dating scene?
Both.
Oh, okay.
Dating, just in general.
We could have talked about that for 2 hours.
I mean, I will say that like the gay community is just, girl, we don't care. We don't care. No,
you said it.
Yeah.
What is your favorite position to imagine straight people having sex in?
Well, actually, the only people that I actually have sex with are straight guys.
Oh, okay.
So me.
So
that's the position. I am the position. Fetal.
That answers the next question, which was, what's your favorite sex position with straight guys?
Yes.
Okay. Favorite thing about the existence of brunch?
The money. I'm sorry about it, but see, here's the difference. When you're at a club, people are usually not everyone is there to watch a show.
Right.
Okay, you have people drunk, people doing whatever.
Oh, there's a show.
Yeah, they're okay, whatever. Brunch, they're paying money to see a show, so they're gonna come with money. They're gonna come with a good attitude, hopefully. So that's the difference.
There was that one dude today. Did you see him?
The one in the gray.
Yeah.
Girl, the entire time
serious.
he was like,
yeah.
And I wanted to, before Taryn did thank you again for Badland Sacramento Making Mimosas for making my birthday special. That cake is amazing. But I wanted to grab the mic to.
You should have.
But then she started singing his happy birthday, so I was like, well, that's going to ruin the mood. But
yeah,
this guy was literally like.
And inside,
then don't be here. Go away.
He was probably living inside.
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Because that happens at comedy where like you'll do a set and like nobody laughs or claps and then you walk off and after people and it happens in drag too. They're like, oh my God, you were so great. And it's like you should have told your face.
No, I don't think it was that. I just think he was that judgmental gay.
Oh. Okay. Well, I don't know what he
I mean, I hope I never see him again.
All right. I don't know what he was judging today. It was a great show.
It was amazing.
It was so good.
These people.
Okay, do you cook or bake?
I microwave.
Okay, that's
Or air fryer.
That's-
Love my air fryer.
that's cooking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I know the answer to this. I'm just gonna ask because I ask everybody, DC or Marvel.
Marvel.
Yeah, duh.
Hello.
We're gonna do a Marvel
Yeah.
podcast. Someone is buying us shots at the bar. What are we shooting?
I don't like the taste of alcohol,
Mhm.
so I usually get a Malibu or pineapple as a drink, or I like a wet pussy as a shooter. But it's just something fruity. I always say like okay, so here's my thing, and this is a PSA for anyone that wants to buy me alcohol. Buy me a shooter. Don't buy me a shot because I will instantly throw up. So if you want to buy me a shot, just be like, make me something fruity like a shooter. But I will not drink straight up alcohol.
I'm laughing because you were like, never will I try vagina. Never will I try vagina. I like wet pussies.
As a drink.
Right, as a drink. As a drink.
Yes.
As a drink. Okay, very important question. Toilet paper, over or under?
Under.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, we can still be
Because
friends.
you're just pushing. Never mind. I misunderstood the assignment.
Okay, toilet paper, over or under? Like hanging down?
Under. Yeah, still under.
Still under?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we can still be friends, but I don't understand you. Do you have a favorite comedian? You said, yeah, Kathy Griffin. Okay.
I also loved. I also love Lisa Lampanelli.
Oh, Apple was asking me about her today. She's like, what happened to her?
Yeah. No, I love her. I think she's so just like the worst kind of human being, but in all the right ways.
Do you have a favorite drag queen?
I used to love, until she was on season 3 of Dragula, I used to love Eva Destruction. Ask anyone I knew, Eva Destruction was my favorite drag queen of all time. And then I saw who she really was in season 3, and it kind of like changed it for me. So no, I don't have a favorite drag queen.
Okay. Do you have a favorite drag king?
I like Max Deco and Maximus Orgasmo. They're from Fresno.
Cool.
So.
Those are names that we haven't heard
Yeah.
on the show. So thank you for
Well, Clive Max, of course. but still.
spotlighting. No, but like
Yeah.
we get Clive a lot when I
Mhm.
ask people because a lot of people are SAC based.
Right.
But those are cool.
They're cool. And
Cool shout outs.
Maximus Orgasmo, another very creative person, and puts 150% into what they do. They'll put up props, and again, they don't get their like well deserved because people are just like, what the fuck is this? You know, I want to see a coiffed wig, and I'm like, but they put so much effort into what they do. Like they don't just like there's drag queens that would be like, what am I gonna do today? Oh, I'll figure it out later. No, they will literally all week prepare for something.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's where I was 4 months ago, and I've put some thought into it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think I know the answer. This is just to make myself feel better, but you've done a great job of that. Who's your favorite drag princess?
You.
Oh, thank you.
Ooh.
I asked Apple, and she was like, "Was she Chi Rodriguez?" And I was like, "Bitch, you
That's cute
outsmarted
too.
me."
That's cute
How
too.
did this is an antiquated question because I was asking all pandemic, and now
Mhm.
we're kind of like pseudo getting out.
Yes.
What's the first thing you want to do post pandemic?
Go to Disneyland. I've never been to Disneyland.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
So I've always wanted to go to Disneyland, but I want it to be like fully open, and I want to get the experience. I don't want to do like, let's go to Disneyland and be able to just walk around and shop. No, I want the full bloody experience.
You want to ride rides?
Yes.
Have fun.
Absolutely.
Disneyland, not World.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Disneyland. I want to start there and then, baby steps.
Yeah, I mean, you should take over a land before a world. Like, it's just logical.
That's what Columbus did.
Are you gonna bring infect blankets to Disneyland? DeJa, that's all my questions.
Oh yay!
Thank you so much.
Of course.
I
Thank
had
you for
fun.
having me.
Absolutely. Do you want to hang out while we get to the last?
Sure.
I mean, we only had one contributor today. Okay, cool. We'll talk to him. He's a local comic. He fails at everything he does. Yeah, he's not very good.
All right.
He helps me with the show.
Okay.
But David Shapiro, are you there, David?
Hey, Suzette. Just
Hi.
trying to get Mario in frame here. Maybe it's the angle. That's better. Such a dour Mario today. Anyway, enough playing with this giant Mario. Okay,
That
there we
sounds
go.
valid.
That's good enough, right? How are you?
I'm okay.
And,
How are you?
Hey, you have a guest that I have not met, but I admire her work, Miss DeJa Skye. Miss DeJa Skye, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
That's great. It's
Not
very
really
nice
an
to
answer.
virtually meet you.
Yeah.
You know what? Fuck Suzette. I don't like her anyway. She's tired. She's haggard looking. She's not good at what she does. I would like to ask you, Miss DeJa Skye, some questions about cosplay. Would that be okay?
I mean, sure. After you insulted.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
So
I should
when
cut him
you
off.
like, how do you start cosplay? Like, how? Like, what inspires you?
Anything, movies, music, other drag queen, like anything can really inspire you.
So
Okay, cool. And then when it comes to making costumes, do you prefer like made costumes or like do you make your own or do you prefer to buy them?
Oh no, I make all my own costumes, but I will, if there's a dress in the store that fits me, I'm like,
Okay.
$2. Yeah.
All right. So I want to cosplay. I want to cosplay like Spider-Man or something Marvel. I would like to do
Marvel.
that.
yeah.
And I will have to message you and maybe get some tips and pointers
Sure.
on cosplay because your cosplay is fantastic. You're amazing. It's
you.
every week Suzette has guests that are far better than she is at everything. And today is
That's
no
not nice.
exception.
He's not wrong.
As you are an
He's not
amazing performer, an amazing talent, amazing drag queen, and she's just Suzette. So, not my favorite. So thank you
Not mine
for your
either.
input. I really appreciate it and your answers and your guidance.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Suzette,
Yeah.
I want to ask you.
Uh-huh.
I heard you have a show at Sacramento Punchline coming up on May 23rd.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Mhm.
Yes. Well, I heard that.
Mhm.
And I was just wondering if I could be in your show.
No.
Well, why not?
Because I don't like you like you don't
Ma'am.
like me.
Check your ego, if you don't mind.
You check
Yeah.
yours, sir.
So comedy's coming back.
Uh-huh.
Punchline's opening. The
Yeah.
Laughs Unlimited has been open. Open mics might be starting again. So I'm excited for comedy to come back. I want to do comedy. I would like to do comedy again. That would be cool.
No, it wouldn't.
So I'm excited about that. Everyone's getting vaccinated, and people are going back to life, and people are washing their hands supposedly, and so things are good.
Supposedly.
Wrong.
So anyway, congratulations on your show. I would like to start a weekly comedy show.
You should
So
not
if you
do
know
that.
any venues looking for a fantastic weekly comedy show,
don't.
please don't hesitate to let me know
I won't.
if you could do that.
No.
It definitely won't.
Yeah, because I miss telling jokes on stage.
What you were doing wasn't
Oh,
jokes.
I miss that. Anyway,
You're a joke.
Yeah, it's gonna be a quick one today, Suze.
Uh-huh.
I'm really mad that I didn't get to come on last week and tell Helen Heels how much more I like her than you, especially
Said
after
no
she
one
said
ever.
nice things about me, and you did not,
No, I
and
didn't.
I wanted to say them back to her. So when you see her next, please pass along that she's
Okay.
great and
Okay.
better than you,
Okay.
and
So much, sir.
yeah, I sat there for however long, an hour and a half, and then 2 hours,
Yeah.
and you bumped me.
We didn't today, though.
That's
so
not nice. I
focus
don't
on
have
the
a show,
present.
but if I did,
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't bump you probably.
I wouldn't do your show.
Yeah, I want to interview people. I want to do like a podcast, not like a video thing, because that's a lot of work,
Okay.
and you unfairly fatigue everybody. So just like a podcasty thing would be cool. I might look into that.
Yeah.
You don't inspire me.
Oh.
I just want to do better than you. Is all.
Okay.
So anyway,
Good to have goals.
Miss DeJa Skye, it was a delight and an honor to get to visit with you.
Wish I could say the same.
Through this, and I hope to catch a show of yours one day. And
I will
Suzette,
gladly take your money.
Take money.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. They say if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything.
Oh.
So I'm not saying anything.
Okay.
Okay, I'm kidding. You're decent
Thanks.
at stuff.
Oh, thank you.
You have nice teeth. I like your teeth.
Mhm.
They're good teeth.
Okay. Well, that's nice.
Um,
Yeah, I do.
I admire your teeth, Suzette. Yeah, teeth, like tooth,
no, we
plural.
Oh,
yeah.
just one.
Anyway, this has gotten weird.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go.
You're telling me.
little bit.
And take care. And if you're at the show tonight, maybe I'll see you.
No.
Okay, maybe I won't.
Yeah.
Good night.
Night. Okay.
Well, that was awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Usually he's a little better with guests. Yeah. Anyhow, that's the show. Thank you, DeJa, for
Of
coming
course.
on. It was so much fun. And
I can't wait to be back.
You were the whole show, so there's no one else to thank except Jesse and Stab.
Thank you, Jesse.
By the way, your name and was under you the whole time with your Venmo handle
Cute.
and your Instagram.
Love that.
So people should reach out. They should follow. They should
You
tip.
motherfucking better.
Above my head is the information for Stab Comedy Theater. Support, tip, pandemic, still bringing you content.
Yep.
That's the show. Next week, we'll be back 5:03 on May 2nd with Jake Bradley Rowe to talk about Sunburst, which is a charity for the big day of giving. So check it out next week. Thanks for tuning in.
The city's your playground. I watch you take a bite. At 5 a.m. roaming the streets, drunk all night. You think you're hot shit, and ooh, I love it. I love it. Yeah, yeah. Stumbling, but yeah, you're still looking hella fine. Keep doing what you're doing, I'ma make you mine. You're a hot mess, and I'm falling for you. And I'm like, hot damn, let me make you my boo. Shake it, shake it, shake it, yeah, you know what to do. You're a hot mess, I'm loving it. Baby, don't hurt me. Baby, don't hurt me no more. You gotta hurt me. Baby, don't hurt me. Baby, don't hurt me no more. I don't know why you're not there. I give you my love, but you don't care. So what is right? What is wrong?